And we're back here once again with another episode of the MSK show, and this is going to be episode 163. So I hope you guys had a great day, and I hope you guys have a great weekend that is ahead of you. And in this episode of the MSK show, we are going to be doing a comic book review on Absolute Batman #2, as well as going over two topics for this episode of the MSK show. Usually we would just do like a comic book review and a topic, but there has been so much comic book news coming out that basically we're going to be full for the next month and a half, potentially, honestly, if news keeps picking up like this, because it's not just freaking DC that's having a whole bunch of news come out about a bunch of new titles, bunch of new, a bunch of characters getting like ongoing series. But as we know, if these ongoing series that they're propping up in their solicitations, start kind of faltering in sales, those ongoing series that they originally envisioned for maybe at least 2 arcs will be getting the cutoff at issue 10. That's kind of usually how it goes. Marvel Comics also has a lot of, news as well. And I know you guys that are obviously, when you watch the Master Swag and Comics and Manga channel, you guys know if you scroll down, me and Professor Savage Dad reviewed the Ghost Machine #1 one-shot preview comic book, where it was basically a collaboration of all the titles that they're going to be, selling in the Ghost Machine imprint that is under Image Comics. It has people like Jeff Johns and Jason Fabok and all the people that, love him and always want to be around him. Rook Exodus, the first trade I checked last night, is coming out this April, honestly, April 13th. Now, I do have the single issues for Rook Exodus, because when I read that Ghost Machine, #1 one-shot comic book they released, that was the best, most intriguing story in there. Geiger was cool too. Red Coat was a really cool concept. You guys know Hornsby and Halo was just trash. I think you should probably just like not do that one, in my opinion. Hyde Street's kind of cool if you're into like horror or whatever.
Hyde Street is actually very, like, I'll say this: the Rook Exodus is obviously very good. It's I've read all of them. They're very good. Geiger's really good if you've read like the first, I think he did like 6 or 12.
He has that trade before. It's like that 80-page giant.
Well, no, there's before that too.
Before that? Okay.
Yeah, he did it like years ago when he was like doing Junkyard Joe and a couple of other things.
Weird. Junkyard Joe is not in that preview book, even though that's clearly part of that unnamed universe. I
think it's just because he had taken a break from it. Like he did like 4 issues and then it disappeared for a while. Yeah. I think he came back with it. So you know how Johns is, dude. Like he gets like the best artists. So sometimes his stuff's on time and sometimes it's not. I mean, look what happened with Doomsday Clock, and they basically took him off of the whole DC universe when it was actually going in a direction for once,
Yeah.
But I thought Hyde Street, for only 3 issues, the art is phenomenal.
Art's very
amazing.
Good. Yeah.
And the story is actually compelling. It's different. And what was the other one?
Rockefellers.
I haven't read Rockefellers yet. I have the first issue, but I read Red Coat.
Okay.
Which is pretty cool. Like it's different, but at least they're trying something new. They're creating new characters. And they're going out on a limb and trying something new. But the Rook Exodus is a freaking cool idea, and I don't want to ruin
Great
any
idea.
of it for you.
Yeah, like
it's freaking cool, man.
The only one they have to just completely scrap that I feel like is not going to be getting any traction. I'm sorry, Jeff. I love you, man. But Hornsby and Halo is trash. I know you can do better. It's okay, man. Scrap it. Go back to doing Junkyard. Do any random new title you can make up. Because I read that preview.
I haven't even read it.
It was in the preview book. I read it and I was like, oh, this is. I was just so out. I was like,
did he write it?
I think he's the writer on that. I think he is. He's the writer on mostly all of them, I think, right?
There's Tomasi's writing one. Brad Meltzer's writing. A couple of other guys. But he might have wrote the initial ones. But if you look at like their Comic-Cons and stuff, it's like Peter J. Tomasi, Meltzer, Jeff Johns, and there's one other guy, and I can never remember his goddamn name. You'll have to just look it up.
Me? Look up information and be like a quality, entertaining host? What is this, Christmas?
Speaking of Jeff Johns, just for the viewers, I went out and I bought speaking of Geiger, this was the first Geiger one that he put out. Like, if you have this came out like a few years ago. So this is the first. I think there's like 6 or 7 issues in there, and then this.
Yeah, I have that one. I bought that. Yeah,
it's what came out for the secondary stuff. This I believe has like the Ghost Machine stuff in it as well. Like since he started that, and I went out and got his Booster Gold series because it's awesome. So I got that.
So you had nothing you were gonna buy for your pull list this week, or you were just not interested?
I had a bunch of stuff. It was just I wanted. My wife got me. My birthday was last Saturday, so she got
wife. That's crazy.
A card, and she was like, "Is there anything you want that you don't have?" And I was like, "Yeah, buy those things." And she was like, "All right."
With your money, because you said
no, it wasn't my money. It wasn't.
Shit,
it wasn't my money. She works, and I don't ask what she makes.
As you should.
Yes.
Not.
I just look at it like this. I already pay everything, so like whatever she does.
That's what I tell guys. Like no one understands that. Like I don't mind a girl working. I really truly don't. If I was with a girl and she was like, I want to work because I want to have free time. Cool, great. Do whatever the fuck you want.
Yeah.
I would just tell her whatever you make, I don't give a fuck about because I don't need your money. You know?
It's a little less harsh with that with me. I just say, hey,
you make enough that you don't need her. Like her money will be essentially like chump
it's
change.
Just extra.
You know?
Like it's whatever you wanna do with your money, go ahead and do. Because she does her stuff. Like she hangs out with my sister, and they like do stuff all the time. So I'm just like, there you go. There's your
friends.
I call them Thelma and Louise. So you know, they're gonna hold hands one day and drive off a cliff in the name of lesbianism.
Let's be honest, man. They're gonna come and tackle you to the ground, and they're gonna be pulling out their Salem witch cross for you.
Well, here's the thing: I'm pretty positive I would be able to beat the shit out of both of them at the same time.
Well, hey, man, feminism told us that women are stronger than men. We're equal in strength. You know.
Well, they could say it all they want.
That's crazy about life. You can say anything you want. It doesn't actually like manifest into reality. That's the crazy thing about life.
Now, don't get me wrong. If some UFC trained woman came and she would kick my ass all over the place. Let's not get it twisted here. But, you know, I've been beating up my sister my whole life. Not in adulthood, but when we were children.
In Minecraft, allegedly, said by a person named Left Comic Fan on YouTube.
No, we used to fight all the time when we were younger.
Yeah, like man, when I grew up, so we fought every day, man. I think if you have siblings, there's no way you can't fight. I've never seen
it just happens.
Yeah, just you fight over like the most dumbest shit. Like, hey, my bull's bigger, mom. You gave him more, and it's like, oh my god, what are you thinking?
Well, I was there. My older brother and sister, they're like considered like. My brother's about 8 years older than me, but my sister's like 10 or 12 years older than me. So like when I was like 5 and stuff, and she was like babysitting me, I would always fight with her, you know? So it was like, there was an age discrepancy there. So, you know, while I wanted to watch cartoons, she wanted me to shut up and go to bed.
Oh, yesterday, Jason Fabok dropped the cover for Rook Exodus #7 because the second arc, a lot of people were like, well, why is it taking so long? And you know, there's a lot of artists that literally don't do shit sometimes, and they'll get late on their deadlines and everything. No, if you work under people like Jeff or Jason, they want to get their stuff done. But the art that he's doing in Rook Exodus, I'll give him a leeway. That does take time to do.
Dude, just like everybody like, you know, the story of 3 Jokers is left to be desired, right? But you can't tell me that is not the best looking Joker book that we have ever seen.
Looks great. Yeah.
It's
awesome.
ridiculous. So I understand that his art, I'd rather it be done. So we just get it all done, you know? Now, if they were doing like 1 issue and then 7 months, another issue, I could see the problem. But when he takes like 3-4 months and then you get 4 issues the next 4 months, I'm okay with that.
Yeah,
I'm cool with it. I'm fine with it because it looks so good, man.
Because
there's some guys like Ivan Reese who could just pump out shit left and right and it looks amazing. You know what I mean? Like there's guys like that can just do that. And you know, like even though he's insane, like Ethan Van Sciver used to be the same way. The dude's shit was amazing looking, but he was a total psycho. But he could do it. He could do month to month books and have them look amazing. And there's just some guys that are perfectionists and they want it done.
You know what I find crazy about that guy, Ethan, is that under Jeff, when they were both working at DC, when they were on the Green Lantern title, that,
Mm.
Ethan would, because he was pretty much fired because he was just being a lazy fat piece of shit, not getting the pages done on time. It's so weird how that's apparently still a thing. So I'm pretty sure you guys know who was
but
the
he
person
did
that was.
though whenever he was doing Green Lantern.
Yeah, that was so weird.
And then he turned into just a giant, fat, weird piece of shit.
Yeah. And I still believe that's only because he was in a work environment structure. And if you're not a part of a work environment structure, because books have to come out on time,
right?
Well, you can just kind of just fuck off and do whatever you want now because that guy's not putting out any books anytime soon. Some of those campaigns are like going on like 3+ years late.
You got to also remember, sometimes when you're an artist and you think you could be a writer, you start running into things like where you're like, oh, my world is not actually complete. These writers that have like the full worlds in their head can tell you anything. Like, this is this, even if it's not in the book. You ask them a question they already know the answer to. Some of these dudes, like, I'll say it, Jim Lee, man. Jim Lee, amazing artist. Dude.
And even Jim Lee, they know that he has kind of a weird work ethic where they know at some point he will kind of lose interest in the project he's working on. Right. So they'll make sure they'll get issues in advance for him done. So that way they can still put them out. With Ethan, he was literally just slowing down Jeff's work on the Green Lantern run. And then Jeff gets the blame for it because he's the writers and the artists always get the blame. Like no one really ever blames like the editors or the inkers and all that bullshit. You mostly always blame the artists and the writers. And then that looks at the people like, oh, Jeff's the one just fucking off, not doing his job. It's like, no, it wasn't Jeff. It was definitely Ethan taking his sweet time. I have to make all these intricate details.
And what's crazy is when he did the rebirth, the Green Lantern rebirth, all 6 issues came out like, and then the next 4 came out perfectly. And then all of a sudden it was like, no. And then thank God they brought on Ivan Reis like halfway through, because it was like, Jesus Christ. Because they got some weird artists. That book looks so good. And then it turned into like, there's some really bad, like the Larfree stuff in there. And
you have that one where it's Hal's doing that pose like this. Yeah. Ethan drew. Yeah. Like, honestly, that is, it's great. It's a great run. Yeah, I remember because I couldn't afford comics, and I remember reading a lot of it. What happened? It was very good. It was very well put together. I never got the hate for Jeff Johns. I never got the hate he ever had.
So I mean, there's a couple of things. What he does is he's stuck in the Silver Age, right? So like at the time that he brought back Hal Jordan, like Kyle Rayner was still popular with the fans. And he did the same thing to what's his name? Why can't I think right now? I'm so tired. When he brought back Barry Allen, he did the same thing to Wally West. He kicked Wally West to the curb. You know what I mean? And these were like already established runs since like, especially Wally West, since like 1985.
Yeah.
And Barry hadn't been back. He was like, oh, well, no, we're done with that. I'm the writer of The Flash now. We're going to what I like. So I can understand people's hate that way, right? But I don't understand the hate of his stories. I think they're great. Like, I love them. I think they're fantastic, man. Like, who could take the JSA and make that many, that much be interesting? And it's phenomenal, dude. Like, I love his JSA runs. One of my favorite runs of all time.
Did you ever, I think he was the main writer of the Stargirl show, right? I think he was.
Yeah, he was like the executive producer and writer.
Season 1 was very, very good.
I never watched any of the stuff, so I don't know.
Really? You never watched the CW era for Flash and Arrow and all those characters? Never?
No, no. My wife watched Flash or Green Arrow. No, which one had? Oh, damn it! What's the guy's name?
Was it Superman and Lois? Did she watch?
No. What's the Green Arrow? The actor's name?
Oh, Stephen Amell.
Yeah, Stephen Amell. That's it. She liked him, so I got to see Green Arrow. And I watched like a little bit of Flash. It was just like the CW to me is just I just didn't care about it, which you'd think I would. You'd think I would because it's DC, but I just
Arrow,
didn't.
I felt the same way. Arrow to me, like, you have people that'll be like, well, they couldn't use Ollie's personality because that personality is not going to be something that can resonate very well. But it's like, that's who he is, though. They tried to make Arrow like Bruce Wayne because around when Arrow season 1 dropped, that was when The Dark Knight Rises came out, and that was around the time period where Christopher Nolan's trilogy was ending, and they wanted to do a Batman show but couldn't because like the rights tied up at Fox. That's why Fox did Gotham, and it was one of these things where it's like
I did not like Gotham.
I didn't mind I don't mind someone taking a risk, but when he's literally basically just Batman with Batman's personality, it's like, let's not Oliver then. Like, people gotta know Green Arrow is a much different character than Batman, despite the similarities
of the company and being rich and stuff.
Yeah.
But him himself, yes, completely different person.
Yeah. And people said the reason why it wouldn't work, guys, is because, well, as we know now, so many people do not like comic books or even like aspects of who these guys are. Even if they have the same politics.
No,
like,
don't.
Green Arrow is Green Arrow is a leftist. So you would think like they want to adopt all that. He's like a liberal. And you think like, okay, CW, crazy leftist weirdos who are working over there, they'd adopt Ollie. They didn't. They just made him Batman.
And it's also like, for me, whenever I see stuff like that, it's like, you like the idea of the money that those characters can bring in, but you never actually make them the characters that they are, so the money never comes in. But you still continue to do it.
Yeah.
Like we're seeing it with the Captain America movie, man. Have you seen the ridiculousness of people that are like, oh, that movie's making so much money? And I'm like, what are you? It's not even going to go over 200 million domestic. Like, it is. What are you talking about, man? That movie has to make like 600 million to even break even.
I don't know if you watched the video that I put out talking about it, but it's basically similar like this. It doesn't matter either way, because if the rumored budget was that balloon budget that came from that one source, The World of Real from IMDb, where they said the budget ballooned to like $350 million before marketing, that means the film would have to bring in like $900 million.
$900 million.
Break even, not profit. That just break
even,
Mm-hmm. But if the movies, even if we go off because they said Hollywood Reporter debunked it. Okay, so let's just use Hollywood Reporter then, guys. They said they debunked it, even though to debunk something you have to bring receipts. Disney didn't do that, nor did Disney provide them receipts to debunk it. But let's just play with their delusion. It will work either way. Hollywood Reporter said the actual budget they were told was 180. Okay, so with 180, that they said on some of those shill media cringe accounts on Twitter where they're like, this movie has to make, what did they say, 429, 430 for it to break even? Because
it's bullshit.
But that's even still right there deceptive. It's because people still don't even see the finite bullshit those shill accounts are putting out. Guys, breaking even is not profit. That means Disney didn't even profit from the movie.
Well, yeah, you got to think like 33% of that is going to the theaters that it is in, first of all.
Yeah, true.
You think they're just putting it up there for free?
Yeah.
How do these things stay open then?
Come on, man. Communism.
Come on.
You help me, I help you. Your house is my house. You can be in my house.
And then you got to figure like if a world budget of marketing, and certain places you can.
Have you noticed they haven't released the marketing budget? Because usually it's like rumored. They usually give them the trades.
It's like always like 100 million or something like
Typically
that.
For blockbuster tentpoles, it's between like 60 to, like you said, 100.
Yeah.
And if it's anywhere in that, they're screwed even worse. That means this movie costs like $280 million.
You would have to think that it would have to be. This is Captain America. This is in the movie. He was asked to lead the Avengers. So you know that it's going to be, this is something that they're trying to set up the Avengers, the biggest grossing movies of all time. Like, well, whatever.
It's just so weird that these freaking accounts want their Disney access so bad, and they even will blatantly still put out the L that Disney might take on any movie, not just Marvel ones, other ones too. And then people go like, oh my God, Captain America Brave New World made 90 million. It made its budget back. Guys, making your budget back doesn't mean you made profit for the studio. The reason why they still make these movies is because even if the movie was not as good as everyone says it is, I think it's just kind of meh, honestly, but I could agree with the sentiment. It's not that good, and I agree with that.
No,
I do, honestly.
I agree. It's mid. It's a mid movie, but
it's just one of those things
as a
where
Captain America movie, it is not good.
Yeah, and if you got like, let's say the movie hypothetically in this world made $990 million, well, the justification for it after all this bullshit was that you got the millions of dollars, you got the millions and millions you asked for. So now, are they not going to get the millions and millions they invested into the movie back in profit? They don't even make profit from the movie because you're just going to hilariously break even, and you have to give 50% to the movie theaters. Guys, the only reason why they do this is to make buttloads of cash.
Yeah,
Unless you make buttloads of cash, it means nothing, because the money at the end of the day for them is a worthwhile investment, because they go like, well, you know what? At least we made millions and millions of dollars. Well, if you don't have that, you literally just have nothing.
Nothing. And they also have to remember that they think they're making good movies. That's another massive issue.
That's why we're getting Jurassic World.
That's
7.
Yeah. Jurassic World 32.
I will
they
give them
still
this.
Make money. Those made money.
Those made profit for the studio. Those actually made profit, and it wasn't just the fact that they got $1 billion. It was like $1 billion extra, 200 million on top of it. Crazy
dude,
amount of money.
Wasn't the first one like 1.4 or 1.5? It was huge. It was huge.
It was at that point the highest opening weekend ever for a movie ever. You come on all the years of cinema before. That's ridiculous. Like. The reason why you're getting more Jurassic movies is because those movies, guys, made profit for the studio.
And the reason why you're getting them so fast turnover is because they make money.
Yeah. Like what Universal Studio made, guys, off of, let's use just Jurassic World Dominion. That's what Marvel wants to make for Captain America Brave New World. Unless it pretty much makes that, this isn't worthwhile, though, because you have to kind of, I don't agree with the companies, but you have to kind of think about it from their perspective. What's the point of investing this many years, time, resources? I mean, insurance you have to get on movie theaters because people get, movie sets because people get injured. You have to book hotel rooms, flight, costume designers. It's not even just one director. It's like a unit director, a second unit director, producers, writers, all this stuff, all this bullshit you go through, only to break even. Are you guys serious right now? You guys are, I'm not sure what you mean, but you guys are fucking dumb. Literally. Actually use your brains. Is breaking even worth it?
Especially with Feige talking about like Secret Wars being like a reset for it. They have plans for this shit going massively forward. Like we're looking at it as like, dude, this ain't working, right? If they didn't think that they were going to get the return that they did, they might not think like, hey, this movie might not make the billion like it did, but they're thinking it's gonna make a bunch of money.
Well, have you noticed that they haven't announced any movies past Secret Wars or TV shows? The only thing that he's talked about is X-Men. That's it.
And well,
he's talking about X-Men.
He was saying before like that Secret Wars was going to reboot the MCU.
Yeah.
He did. So that's
probably the other thing. Remember the other thing he said? He said they were going to scale back the volume of TV shows and movies. I was like, I could have told you that for free. Imagine him going into his accountant and being like, sir, do you feel like we should make less movies and TV shows? Yes. Whatever. Yeah. You're not good at it anymore.
And then whenever, what's his name? What's the president of
Bob Iger.
Bob Iger was like, we need to do less messaging and more storytelling. It's like, really? No one has been saying this for like 7 years now.
People's suspicions that there were just
political
messaging in the movie.
So ridiculous, dude. The people.
He's like, oh god. Oh, I remember that. I did a video on that. I remember that. Yeah, he said that. He's like, we need to actually add in less messaging. Oh, thank you, Bob.
Go back to more storytelling. Yeah, that's right. It was on. I think it was on my in my Acolyte video, right? Because people were saying that we were not telling the truth, right? So I had that video of the vice president of Disney talking about how they weren't going to hire white people, and he told a story. It's on video. He told a story about how this woman got fired. He got fired because she was half black and half white, but she wasn't black enough. I'm like, and you think we're lying? You think we're lying about this?
You tell people that they genuinely think you're like an old man yelling at the cloud.
Yeah, and like it's like I don't feel that way, but that's what they're telling you. They're saying it. They're saying it to
Bob
you.
Iger confirming, and people don't understand. It's not just about messaging, because movies overall have a general message based off like the story they're telling you.
Yes.
But not that message. That message is more or less so ingrained in the story they're telling you. What he's saying is not that. What he's saying is, no, we were actually trying to push something here, and we kind of have to stop doing that because, well, the money's not there. No shit, Bob. Nobody wanted all their main heroes replaced. Nobody who wanted Iron Man to die. Who wanted that besides the actor?
That's so, even if the actor wanted them dead, right? All you have to do is just write them out of the movie. You don't have to
Heroes
kill
retire
them.
all the time.
All the time. Because what happens? What happens? We've seen this in massive franchises, and I'm gonna date myself of how old I am, but we see this in massive franchises all the time, right? Yeah, you do. And they see this all the time, right? A star gets really big from a franchise, and he doesn't want to do that. He doesn't want to be typecast. He wants to go out on his own, right?
Yeah.
And it doesn't work for him.
Yeah,
or they want to come back to what gave them the most money. But what they did was like, nope, we're gonna kill you off. We're gonna make Cap 9,000 years old. We're just you're just you can come back as a variant. And that's what I thought. That's what I thought was going to be a problem with him being Doom. Because
that's why I never liked the idea.
Wondering, well, is he going to come back as Iron Man? Is it? You know?
That's why I never liked the idea of them killing him off, because it was kind of like a high risk, high reward thing. You kill them off. You can prove to people, hey, we can write characters better than these, but you didn't. Actually, not only did they not do that, every other character that was cool around those two got extremely worse.
Yes, they suffered from it.
They actually got even worse. And now you killed them off. Now you have to make a bullshit reason to bring them back. In reality, they didn't even need to, for being honest with myself. I like Endgame. I do. It's a fun movie.
Yeah, it's a fun movie. I like it.
They didn't need to die in that movie. They
could have had the same impact if it's the beginning of Endgame when Tony was doing the message.
Yeah.
He was dying, running out of oxygen, all the stuff. Captain Marvel brings him back. That was just as big of a message of, holy shit, you're going to lose him, than him getting stabbed and killed. He could have got stabbed, retired, been, off screen for a while.
Yeah, go raise his kid. Yeah.
Just knowing that he's not going to be Iron Man is a big deal. And they could have done it the right way and maybe made Rhodey that stand-in, since he was already established there as War Machine, as the Iron Man, instead of making Ironheart, which nobody gives a shit about. Nobody cares, right? They did it in Wakanda forever. This girl made a fucking Iron Man suit by herself. What? Why? How do you pass that off? It took Tony forever, to figure everything out. He made a shitty one in the middle of, the desert, and then went home
in a cave with like Al Qaeda
and was working on it forever and finally got it to work. But this girl made one, and we're just supposed to who the fuck are you?
The only reason why I kind of feel like they killed them off was because the actors themselves. I mean, RDJ. So Iron Man came out in 2008. That means they were filming 2007. So he'd been playing Iron Man for a very, very long time. Movie after movie after movie.
Right. He didn't want to do it anymore.
Award show. That's understandable. I fully get that. I even same thing with Chris Evans. But they were the main they were the main heroes of the MCU. The main reasons why people are watching those movies, even once they weren't in, they were like, "Hey, I love these so much because I like these guys." Well, if they're killed off, why do I care then? Because they don't have a Michael Jordan, they don't have a Kobe Bryant, they don't have a Shaquille O'Neal, they don't have a LeBron James. Everyone else is literally a bench warmer trying to be an A-list hero.
And I love Benedict Cumberbatch, but dude, Doctor Strange is not enough. The reason why Doctor Strange was so cool was his bickering and back and forth with Tony.
Yeah.
Like that was like, it propped him up by having someone up here and you're like mouthing off, facing up to him. It brings you up to here. But like on your own? No. And you skipped over so many years of storytelling to go to books that suck, that never sold. Like, dude, they're trying to redo freaking Sam Wilson, Captain America. Who is buying that?
that now they have to do it in 6-issue miniseries because he can't hold an ongoing. They
No,
tried to do
we
an
can't.
ongoing for him in 2022. Remember when he was the symbol of hope, running with Steve Rogers as Sentinel of Liberty?
Yeah, it didn't sell even before when they did it. Like when Bucky became Captain America, people were pissed in comic book world, right?
Yeah,
but after a while, it started selling and people were fine with it. They've tried that with Sam Wilson, and it doesn't sell. Like they gave him that period. Same with Bucky. People were pissed. So anybody tells you that it just worked with Bucky, that did not happen. They didn't like it, but
all
Marvel
people
stuck
tell
with
you is
it.
that
And,
Bucky took on the mantle, as they say. They didn't tell you that people liked the idea.
They didn't like it at first. I can tell you that.
Oh yeah,
I remember, like, because I was reading Wizard magazine, and it was like, another failed issue. But after a while, it started working. It just picked up for some reason. Well, they did the same thing with Sam Wilson. I think they gave him one run that was like 26 issues. Nothing's, and they finally were just like, we got it. I can't remember the number. I can't remember the number of issues.
They did it all new, all different. Then they did another one in 2014. Then in 2022, now he can't sell. Like I'll give DC this. Whenever they try to make a popular character in another identity, it seems to work out better. Like Terry McGinnis is a famous one for Batman. Obviously, you have the various versions. Flash is the Wally West.
Yes, but think about this. Wally West. He didn't have Barry Allen at first, right? But he still had the other Flash family. Terry McGinnis has Bruce Wayne. Like he's there with them, right? So you have the Golden Age Flash and the Flash family that was there with Barry Allen. You still had the characters related to Barry Allen in that universe. You know what I mean? Like, so.
Or people say, Hal Jordan, not Hal. What tweet right now? Hal Jordan.
Kyle Rayner did pretty good.
Jon Stewart's there for a lot of people. Like, I feel like when DC tries to do that, they do it. There's at least more examples of it working. I can't really think of many Marvel ones where it works. honestly. I can't think of
even like X-23 really doesn't.
Yeah.
It doesn't do anything. You might like the character, which is fine. There's nothing wrong with that character, but it doesn't sell.
Yeah, that can't be an ongoing. It's crazy. Even popular characters that they made in movies don't have consistent sellers. Like, guys, Wonder Woman, it's not really a consistently good seller.
No.
Neither is Phoenix, Storm.
Like, Absolute Wonder Woman is selling just because it's different.
It's kind of attached to a brand new
to a brand. Yeah. But like regular Wonder Woman, there's only a few runs that I could think. Like Earth 1 Wonder Woman was really cool.
Yeah.
Was really good. But that's more like people buying the trades, not like when it came out. You know what I mean?
Yeah,
like,
yeah.
So I mean, like, there's other the what was it? I can't remember who it was, but
I think the most famous Wonder Woman writer is George Perez. George
Perez, Wonder Woman, and like the War of the Gods, like that whole thing. That did pretty. It's a well known run.
Yeah, Wonder Woman's not as like she just.
No
offense to her. I like Diana, but she is just not as popular as
it's
Bruce
nowhere
near
as popular, but it's like she works well in the Justice League. She works
my
well
Trinity,
in the Trinity.
Honestly, is Batman, Superman, and Flash. That'd be like my personal Trinity. Because Flash always sells. Whenever he has a great ongoing series, he smokes her, pun intended, out of the water.
No, and that's
Justice
true.
League always sells better than her,
and that's very true. Like there's some characters, World Finest, There's some characters that work well in teams, and then when they branch off their own book, like it's different than the Golden Age. You know what I mean? Like we have so many other mediums to use. Like, so certain characters aren't gonna sell like they did, but they're still gonna make them. They're legacy characters. But like when you like, for me, the same thing. I think Batman, Superman, the Flash. That's for me, like that's what I think. Mixed interspersed with Green Lantern here and there. I like Green Lantern a lot more when he's with Green Arrow and when he's with Flash, because that like little
Green
triangle
sells more than Diana most of the time. If he has a good ongoing series, Green Arrow sells more. Teen Titan sells more. She's just better in a team environment. That's my thing too. Not every single character should have an ongoing series.
Yep.
That's what we're doing right now for X-Men. You guys. I know there's a lot of news out there we're going to have to get to in the next couple of weeks because there's a lot of it. You guys know that what's that new X-Men initiative from the asshole, a new trash can? Because those titles are just getting canceled left and right.
Left and right.
Sorry to tell you guys, Kamala Khan leading a ongoing X-Men title is probably not a good idea.
Oh, what? The same Kamala Khan that has had one run that finished? One?
Yeah. Or remember remember 2023, Marvel Comics on Twitter announced, we're going to kill Kamala Khan. Well, thanks for the fucking spoiler, the shock you could see that for a comic book goal. They announced she's dying, then to only bring her back in a 4-issue miniseries a month later.
And still, nobody gave a shit.
Nobody cared. Not a single person gave a fuck. She is literally a poor man's Luffy from One Piece. That's what she is. She's just a ghetto version of Luffy. She's even a worse version of Mr. Fantastic because she's not as smart as him. Luffy's more personality's better. Obviously, One Piece, he's just a much more better character. Like, that's one of the dumbest fucking thing.
Do you want to know the only time that I liked Miss Marvel? And I'll be honest. I don't know if did you ever get into the graphic audio?
No.
You ever listen? So they made these things called graphic audio, right? And it was narrated by the same guy. They had like a ton of them, right? And they did comic books, and they got a whole voice cast, a sound effects, everything. And her story was actually okay. But like, they've done so many of them, and they were fantastic, dude. Like, they did Batman No Man's Land.
Shit, I forgot to ask you this
stuff. Yeah.
Did you get Wonder Woman's book from Tom King? I bought the first trade because I wanted to read it and cry. People said it was really bad. I'll have to read it. I don't know if it's good or not.
No.
But good Lord, if Tom King's on any book, I buy. That's how my boy gets my money.
I can't. Sometimes Tom King is
Tom your love, man. Tom needs us. You know?
No.
Why not?
No, thank you. I can't sometimes with him. I can't. I watch him on Comic Pop when he's with Sal sometimes, and I'm just like, God damn it, dude.
You know what's interesting about that guy? That guy will only ever go on podcasts or do collabs with YouTubers if they actually just suck him off. The only people, like him and Mark Waid, are the two people where literally you have to get on your knees and grovel.
Well, I'll say this, dude. Sal at least tells him, like, I don't like this book. He's like, I thought it was stupid.
He's such a weird guy.
I mean, I like Comic Pop. I like that channel.
I think I know what you're talking about. Yeah, I like that guy. It's just so weird how Tom himself will only ever go on channels where they actually just put their meat in his mouth. That's it. That's literally it. He is. You can tell that guy is super fragile. He's always randomly blocking people that, hey, your Wonder Woman fucking run sucks. Just block. What is wrong with you? Just blocking fans. I've never. You can just mute people. If you block
he made Gotham and Gotham Girl. Aren't they cool? You have some mystical Egypt energy. Like, what the fuck? What? I have a big G on my chest for good guy.
Oh, fucking kill me now, man. Shit. Good job, Tom. Dumb. Only going on channels with an echo chamber. Yeah. Hey, Tom, I love your run so much. I love it. What's your favorite issue? I love you so much. You fight back against the chuds.
Oh, dude.
Oh God.
Some of the, like I said, I liked the beginning of City of Bane, but then he made a lot of choices that were not cool.
Oh God, man.
But the intro to it, I'd say the first 2 issues, I was like, wow, this is cool. And then you get to the 3rd issue and you're like, wow, this is Tom King. And you throw it away. That's what you do.
Oh, fuck, man. Holy shit. Oh, that's what I didn't like what they did for Absolute Power. They didn't really even utilize Wonder Woman then.
No.
We read Absolute Power. Wonder Woman could have been utilized in there. They didn't do it. To be fair, not much shitting on her. They needs a lot of the characters in that book. I didn't mind.
Yeah,
I enjoyed it.
Like I said, though, like a lot of that story was told through the what do you call it?
That was Mark Waid battling Trump in his head. Guys, I'm joking.
There was like, so Absolute Power continuing with Road to Absolute Power, right? So I believe, because I remember I said there was like 20 something. I was actually wrong. So altogether, including Road to Absolute Power, there's 48 books.
DC, what are you doing? Jesus
so
Christ,
a lot of that story, and I said like 4 of them I would consider like yes, you need to read, but the other ones, not so much.
Oh, before we get into reviewing Absolute Batman #2 right here, just in a second,
Yep.
we got to do some topics. There's when I was just skimming through reviews, because keep in mind I'm much smarter than these people, so my opinion doesn't change. I have my opinion about whatever. There's people that'll be like, yeah, I enjoy reading this. It's good. It's gonna stay on my pull list, but it's not great. So that's so weird.
But
So
a lot of those people, they'll say something's good, and then you ask them why they think it's good, and then instead of telling you actual things about it, they attack you for you must not. You just it's like, no, say something that is good about. Oh, you didn't actually read it. That's probably why.
Like,
come on, man.
I tell people this, like, fucking hell. If things don't have to be, I'm not saying they have to be great. Obviously, it'd be great if things were great. That's fine. But if you're enjoying what you're getting, that's fine. Yeah. Sometimes you don't have to have something to criticize. If you just found it enjoyable, that's perfectly fine.
Like I said, during Dawn of DC, there wasn't a lot of great stuff, but I thought Williamson's Green Arrow was so cool. I was like, oh, this is neat. This is cool. Was it life-changing? No.
Okay,
but was it right. A really cool story?
When we read Absolute Batman #1, you were right. Yeah, I forgot it was Black Mask. I thought it was gonna be Black Mask, but I didn't want to kind of go too far.
Yeah, that's who I originally thought it was going to be, just because. Whenever they showed crazy, like right? The face right here, beside the big disco ball, it looks like Black Mask's mask. So that's who I read, and I did say that in my video. So at least I said it before the issues came out.
Oh God, man. Well, Arkham, what's up, man? How you doing, dude? Are you enjoying Absolute Batman? Well, we're gonna be on issue 3. Fucking what? Next week? Yeah. And then I have to find my comic book packages because I have to, open them to get issues 4. Because there was 1 week where I picked up Jeremy Adams' freaking Aquaman issue #1, and only Absolute Batman #4 dropped that week, and I was like, there's been only 2 weeks since I've been doing this where there have been 2 weeks where I've only bought 2 things. And I was like, I could have just went on eBay and just bought these individually. But then again, if you buy mycomicshop.com, you can just get a trade or whatever.
With Jeremy Adams writing Aquaman, and then you have like Jason Aaron writing Namor.
Namor.
Oh, yeah, my bad. Namor. I'm sorry. Please don't get offended. Fuck.
I'm not going to lie. Since Marvel, what I've read has been pretty up and down. I have to pick and choose my Marvel titles. I will say right now, reading DC stuff is better. If you read too much Marvel, you will probably want to hang yourself.
Yeah.
Just pointing out, too much Marvel would make me want to Superman myself off a bridge. I'm not kidding.
There's a lot less Marvel that I get, personally. But I've always been DC guy, but yeah.
I've always been a little bi. Okay, pause. No context needed for that. I'm straight. I like women a lot. I like them both. And sometimes I like a little bit of image too. So it's like, well, there's only 2. Oh, fuck, there's only 2 genders. Yeah, there is. Fuck. YouTube, it's only 2 sexes. Yeah, I'm censoring myself. Jokes. There's only okay. Maybe I just walked myself into a corner there.
There's only 2 major providers, and there's some really good, high quality other providers, namely Image.
Okay, so it would be like you got Walmart, you have Amazon. That would be like your big guys, right? And then under that, you got Dollar General. Target. Oh, I forgot Target is a big one. Yeah, you're right. Fuck.
So you could say, well, here's the thing: Walmart and Amazon are the 2 biggest. Target could be what Image is, because it has some big names.
Targeting your image? No.
There you go. He's a cult of personality.
Oh God, you're much what than most people. When I said I went between both companies, I like them both. Like when DC's making me pull my hair out of my head, then I want to blow my brains out. But Marvel makes me want to get a rope, tie it to a freaking rail that you crane stuff in for construction, and end it.
You ever think maybe you're just a little bit too committed to the 2 brands there? Because I've never wanted to end my life
Did you watch Morbius?
I have seen Morbius.
Morbius
it just made me want to walk out of the theater. But I didn't make the movie. I didn't make it. Didn't make me want to kill myself. It made me want my 110 minutes back.
I wanted to walk into oncoming traffic. That's what I wanted to do. Fuck yeah. Holy shit. All right, let's have some fun. Oh, God. Okay,
get into this book.
After Absolute Batman, we're going to go into topics for a little bit. The topics won't be that long. Maybe the relaunch Batman #1 might be a little bit juicier. Might be a little bit more meat on the bone. But I'm going to do Absolute Batman #2 here. Oh, gosh, man. Before we get into it, guys, this is very, very fun. I will say, get Absolute Batman #1. There's some crazy, ridiculous shit here we're going to be going over. Just a second here. I'll read Arkham's comment, and then we'll move on. Wait a second, man. For me, I mostly enjoy what DC puts out. Marvel, not so much. I have the things that I dislike and not like so much, but the events I really enjoy. Oh, did you like Absolute Power, Arkham? Because Michael Bay sure did write that. Not Mark Waid. That was Michael Bay.
I know. I'm with you on that, Arkham, because I'm a DC guy at heart, but there are things from Marvel that I truly like.
So you're saying DC's your wife? She'll give you the back door sometimes?
No, dude, I don't make these analogies like
what?
you do.
Oh,
they're comic book companies of books which I enjoy reading. No, this is a book, dude.
That's a book? I thought
these are not boobs.
Shit.
Contrary to what you think boobs look like.
What are you saying? Boobs feel very good. I've felt boobs before.
I don't believe you.
I'm just saying, hey, DC's the type of girl that you'll marry. She's good. She gives you all the positions, 6'9". She'll probably just blow you whenever you want to, whenever you're hard. But, Marvel will give up the back door sometimes. And you're like, you know what? I'll go to my side chick and get the back door hit sometimes. No?
So, Absolute Batman
number 2. That. Oh, God. Okay. All right. Let's fucking hell. I don't even know. I need to. Okay, before this review starts, when you guys watch this pre-record, edited on the channel, I have to play the ending of the first Michael Bay Transformer movie. There's more to them than meets the eye, and then it goes to the Linkin Park.
Linkin Park. Oh my god.
Oh God.
I hated that era of music, man. Like that guy's voice. They're like, oh my god, Chester Bennington, rest in peace.
Yeah,
I don't ever wish anything bad on anybody, but they're like, dude, he's like the songster of a generation, and I'm like, the guy that yells like, nye, 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 nye. I'm like, no, thank you, no.
Okay, no. Before we go, last thing before we go and start recording, do you remember the characters he was talking to when he was at poker night with his boys? It was Oswald, Riddler, Croc. Right? Those are 3 guys. Just been making sure I had them in my head. Okay, I'm pretty sure there was one more that I was forgetting. Who was the other one? I know I'm forgetting one person. Yeah, it was Riddler, Oswald, and Harvey. Yeah. Okay. Did I say these guys?
Right. Yeah.
Harvey. Yeah. Okay.
That's who it was. Yep.
Oswald, Riddler, Harvey, and Killer Croc.
Yeah. Okay. So it was. It was Harvey, Edward Nigma, who's Enigma. Good old DC. Waylon is the Croc.
I thought I was an Enigma. Crazy.
And yeah.
Okay, to make sure, because if I forget at that part, just remind me the names, because
No, yeah, you're good.
I think I just read Transformers. I'm sorry I keep using that reference. That's what these books are, man. I'm sorry.
They
hired Michael Bay to write this shit.
I watched Transformers 1.
I watched them all, and I wanted to kill him. No, I didn't want to kill myself. I wanted to
no. Like the animated Transformers 1. ONE.
Well, that depends. If it just depends on how you want to describe it. I never generally expect everything to be perfect. But then again, if I have things I didn't like about it, I would just tell you I didn't like certain things. But that would make the whole event bad. Ultimate Invasion, I would say boring, but I won't call it bad. There's a little bit of a difference there. If I say it's boring and bad, it's probably because I didn't like it and it was boring. But you think I would read Jonathan Hickman books ever again? Joke's on you. I already did. And he set up a plant at a bank and it was leading to a portal to my wife. to get pounded by Michael. All right. Oh, fun fact. Before I knew his name was Jeff Johns, I was calling him Geoff.
I can totally see that dinosaur.
Geoff. I literally would call him Geoff. People were looking at me like I was a weirdo.
Well, yeah.
I think I always imagine Jeff spelled like Jeff.
I understand.
I think you're fucking with me.
No, right. I understand that you would think that.
I hate you so much.
What did I do?
You tricked me with that dinosaur comment.
Wow. It took you a minute to get that one?
God, man. I really read dinosaur out of that. I wasn't even tired. My brain just turned off. I need a brain check. We need a new series called Brain Check. Come on, guys.
Geoffs know the dinosaurs. They're very integrated in there.
WZ, I need a freaking what's the name? I need a new series on that L's channel called Brain Check. Episode 1. I don't want to get 51 feet near your wife, MSK. Huh. Joke's on you, she doesn't fucking exist. All right. Hey everyone, I am MSK, aka Master Swag King, coming at you guys today with another video. And if you guys are returning viewers or new viewers, then please consider subscribing to the channel if you have not already. Leave a like on this video if you enjoyed it and comment down below. Also, make sure you guys hit the notification bell. That way you guys can get notified on whenever I upload a brand new video. And in today's video, we are going to be doing a comic book review on Absolute Batman #2. So if you guys have not had a chance to check out our Absolute Batman #1 comic book review, I would highly recommend you guys go and check out that review. That way, if you actually don't want to be spoiled on what we're going to be talking about in this review, you have that one to kind of go off of like, okay, this is what they think already about this book and how it compares to the follow-up issue. So this guy right here. Wait a minute. Wait a minute. I'm black. Hold on. Hold on.
Are you also Dr. Claw?
I'm Lex Luthor.
No.
Oh, so we're reviewing comics here. Oh, see, I got you guys. I'm a magician. I'm like Zatanna. Wait, she's a girl. Fuck. Who's a male magician in DC? I fucking don't know. Give me a wizard.
Shazam.
More like a fighter.
He uses magic.
It's not really a wizard.
He does do spells.
Oh, he has a wizard that gave him powers.
And Dr. Fate.
Or is he more like a god? That kill hit or miss, right? Is he considered a god?
He's considered one of the magicians in DC.
Fucking hell. Maybe I just lost my brain, guys. I am running it down, and I absolutely love it. But I am, having some fun with life. All right. What's up, Lockroom? He says, I will say this as a comic book reader that loves DC. I do wish comic book people can act better towards writers such as Tom Taylor and Tom King. Like, I don't think they deserve death threats. I mean, if people are going out of the way to do that, that's pretty cringe. But
yeah, death threats are stupid. But you definitely can have your opinion.
They don't like your book. That's a little bit different.
Yeah, here's the thing: 100%. Giving death threats to someone over writing comic books. Look, I love comic books. They are an everyday part of my life. Okay, I'm not going to threaten someone with their life because I don't like what they did with the character. Okay, that's ridiculous. Now,
that's entirely
you
different.
are 100% able to constructively criticize them because they are writing a book. That is what you're supposed to do with books, whether it's good criticism or not criticism, like praise or objective criticism.
Yeah.
Like, I'm not going to sit there and just say, this sucks, right? I'm not just be like, oh, this sucks. If you ask me why, I will at least give you a detailed explanation of why I did not care for it. But as for going out and like thinking they're losers or, stuff like that, I don't know them personally. I've only met a few.
Mark Waid, that guy's a weirdo. Everyone's excusable for that guy. That guy's a fucking weirdo. But
I just don't know him.
You probably should be saying him death threats. But I think, or I'll say this before I get to the review. One last thing, I promise. it's actually well in your right as a customer of theirs to be like, this sucks. You can actually do that. But you can also go, hey, I liked this and this, but I didn't like that. But we've seen that happen with people too. There's been people that have given what you've said to a writer, and they've been insanely disrespectful to them.
Oh, I know. It happened to me at Comic-Con.
Happened with Dan Slott, like literally about a few years ago. Remember when comic fans were actually asking, hey, we don't like this. Can we just kind of stop this? And he was like, well, how about you just write the books then? What the fuck?
I will not say the guy's name, but I did stand up. I was one of the people. Dude, there was like 250 people in there. And I said, objectively, I said, hey, I was wondering, the total nerd thing in issue 123 of your second run, and he looked at me and he went, sit the fuck down, you nerd. And I was like, and then I stopped and then I got all, me on him. And I was like, all right, dude, I'm sure you'll be getting your dick sucked by some real good looking women later. And then they asked me to leave.
Yeah, I fully understand what you're saying, dude. I really do. It's just one of those things where the writers and the artists are combative against the fans, and the fans are a little bit crazy sometimes, but they are your customers. At the end of the day, if they do not buy your books, well, as you've seen yourself, man, they'll cut a series just like that.
Yeah.
If your series aren't selling, and if you're the one contributing to that, it's like I think it's crazy. I've never seen Dan Mora go off on people. At least at this moment, I've never seen Jeremy Adams do it. I haven't seen Jason Verbock do it. I've seen a lot of people. There's people that actually don't go off on people. They just go, you know what? I respect it, and they move on. That's it. That's really it.
I mean, it's that this is. But here's the thing. This has been going on. This has been going on since before all of us were born. This has literally been going on since I was a child. They would you would write into Wizard magazine and they would respond to you in the back of it. Like, this has been going on forever. So the people are allowed to have opinions on things. Now, like I said, threatening their life is just, you might have a mental problem.
You said a while ago when you first came on, it was like, everyone's got an opinion. It was like opinions are like assholes. Everyone has one. The thing is,
I didn't say that. You just said that. I would never say something like opinions are like assholes. Everybody's got them. I'm not like I'm not Fozzie. I'm not Fozzie Bear. Waka waka waka.
I set this guy up for a massive dunk, but he just didn't want to take it. No, it's the only thing that I'll say
no one would believe that I said that though.
I'll say the only thing I really never liked about certain criticism of comic books, I think you're more than right to have them. Mm-hmm. People think like every comic book should have Shakespearean level writing.
Oh, yeah, 100%.
I think 100%. The writing should just be solid to good. That's all it needs to be. It doesn't need to be this like fucking Lord of the Rings, well mapped out fucking bullshit everything. It's like, no, it's not how comic books have been in ever, honestly.
I just feel that the story needs to derive from what's happening in the world. And my biggest thing is the characters need to act like the characters that the established lore has been placed. Like, how would this guy react to this situation?
Yeah.
That's for me. I'm okay with that because I understand the way that comics work. You're not gonna just put like your, like Crisis on Infinite Earths, like detailed story in a random 6-book arc. I get it. I totally get it. I'm fine with it.
Yeah, it's one of those things where if they're blatantly making characters absolutely just straight up garbage, I think as a fan, you should probably voice your opinion, because if you don't do that, they think they could just keep doing whatever.
Continuously.
But we're in that point now where they don't want to be told they're doing the wrong thing. It's just good Lord. Cycles. I love Cycles. Favorite artist currently right now would have to be Dan Mora. I think he's honestly fantastic.
My favorite artist right now, I like Dan Mora. I like Jason Fabok completely. I will buy anything that guy draws in.
I'm forgetting. Oh my goodness. George Jimenez. He's fantastic.
Yeah, Jorge Jimenez is freaking
Jorge Jimenez. Yeah,
phenomenal.
What did you get? Geoff? Oh no, I'm doing it.
I'm surprised you didn't call him Jorgie.
Yeah, Jorge Jimenez is great. Oh my god, man.
Yeah, Alex Ross is probably one of my favorite.
Yeah, Alex Ross. Yeah. Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
I was like, you know what? People gave Nick Dragotta some shit for the art in this book. I think the art's fine. Yeah, it's fine. Yeah.
I also Ivan
J.
Reese
Scott
is
Campbell.
really good. Gary Frank is freaking amazing. Gary Frank, I love how Gary Frank draws people's faces because he gets those weird expressions that you would get, like, you know, like if someone takes a picture and someone's doing something and there's always that like weird face. He is
Tom
very
McFarlane
good.
still doing the art on Spawn? Because I've checked it on some file.
I don't think he's done
Is
art
he?
on
Whoever's
Spawn
doing
forever.
whoever's doing the current art on Spawn is absolutely fantastic. That is just knocking out of the park right there.
But like, yeah,
books.
There's Marco
Cicchetto is pretty good.
Cicchetto, yeah. Who was doing the art with on Moon Knight? Was it Capuccio? That dude was
my wife's pussy you've eaten.
Was it McKay? McKay was writing, I think, and
Jed McKay, right?
Yeah. Capuccio was doing the art like a few years ago. That dude was unbelievable.
Oh,
the art on that was really, really good.
There was me. Oh, fuck. There's the artist that is currently on Aliens versus Avengers. That guy, I forgot his name, but holy. Oh, thank Greg Capullo or Capullo.
Yeah,
Greg Capullo's really great. Good. Yeah, there's too many. There's too many, man. For me, it's Jim Lee and Jorge Jimenez. I'm very excited about his new Batman run that's going to be illustrating. That's going to be hella awesome. Yeah. And speaking of Batman, we should probably get to this. So my butthole can be absolutely expanded.
So,
do you love me? Don't answer that. All right.
I don't know where you're going with stuff sometimes.
My brain. I'm literally Shikamaru from Naruto. I have a 200 IQ and I'm thinking 3 moves ahead currently right now as we're talking right now. No, I'm not. All right. Hey everyone, I am MSK, aka Master Swag King, coming at you guys today with another video. And if you guys are returning viewers or new viewers, then please consider subscribing to the channel if you have not already. Leave a like on this video if you enjoyed it and comment down below. Also, make sure you guys hit the notification bell. That way you guys can get notified on whenever I upload a brand new video. And in today's video, we are going to be doing a comic book review on Absolute Batman #2. So if you guys have not had a chance to check out our Absolute Batman #1 comic book review, I would highly recommend you guys go and check that review out. That way you guys can kind of already get to understand what we had already said about the first issue and basically compare and contrast that to how we feel about this issue. So I'll just be completely honest here about this issue. I actually enjoyed it for what it was. It feels very good. Lord. Michael Bay wrote it at the very end. It was going great. It was going awesome till it got extremely ridiculous. Like, let's just go into it because you want to talk about it so much because we were talking about it backstage before we started the show, right? So
yes, backstage.
Yes, we were having really, really good fun with each other backstage, but nevertheless, so Batman gets himself into a situation, gets out of said situation, then ends up next to this universe's version of Alfred, and then Bruce is like, we're getting out of this situation. Motherfucker hauls out a fucking new Batmobile that is a dump truck. That's his Batmobile. This. I'm not kidding. It's his Batmobile.
It's quite interesting, especially for the Batman that has no money.
I'm not gonna lie. I was actually laughing literally out loud when I was like, this man's insane. What in the fuck is that? Yeah, like, we're getting out of here, dude. How? With my dump truck.
Yeah.
That's his Batmobile. Not gonna lie, the design looks really, really cool. It's very fast paced.
It fits this world. It totally does. Totally does.
This is a very ridiculous Batman. I mean that as a bad criticism. I mean that as like a good thing because sometimes not every book obviously has to be this like crime written noir bending mind bullshit. This is just very fun for what it is. And outside of that moment, which was very, very ridiculous, because if you kind of start thinking about it, it's so weird because the reason why that's the most ridiculous part about the book is because this was billed, as we've been told by Scott Snyder, it's like, this is Batman without the resources, without Wayne Tech, without the usual Alfred, without the Bat family, without, Lucius Fox.
Yes. With a 5-story dump truck. that actually takes over as the bottom half of a building. They thought they were in a building, but they were actually in a giant fucking truck.
I don't get it. Like, keep in mind, when I first heard this synopsis for this book, I was like, okay, it's not going to be what the main universe is. It's going to be something different. So I was already bought into the idea. And come on, I don't mean this as a bad thing, but
you don't have to keep, explaining yourself. We all,
but I do know how to make you happy. I know how to make men satisfied.
Here's the thing. People take too many times of going, I don't mean this it's just fucking
I do mean it because I hate you.
Just fucking talk. Just talk.
Oh God. Why are you my dad now?
As you can tell by looking at both cameras here, I'm definitely your dad.
Yes. Okay.
You can tell.
So essentially, he's what Bruce is, but he's not rich. But there's no reason for him not to be rich given the story that Scott Snyder is telling, because he's still very smart. He's still very cunning. Still a great tactician. His life's great, even though he's an engineer. He's still perfectly fine in his life.
He's kind of an asshole, though.
Yeah. Outside of the personality, he's just a super hard. He still has Bruce Wayne's loner personality. He still has everything Bruce has, except he's not a billionaire. And it's like, well, that's the problem. And it's not something that inherently hurts the book. It's just more like, so he's every bit of Bruce Wayne just without the billions of dollars, but that would make it weird because if this random guy he's huge, this guy's a fucking actual tank, pun intended, right? Where he can take all these things, no one would notice. Who would notice this man taking those giant ass wheels and just hauling them down the street?
Maybe he made them.
Where is he getting those guys? Those dump truck wheels are massive. I don't know how he's moving them, but this man is huge. Like, holy shit.
You got to take it with a grain of salt, man. Like that. I don't think those are questions I want answered. I don't want that issue. I do not want that issue.
Ever seen Yu Yu Hakusho? There was a part in Yu Yu Hakusho, like toward the end of the Dark Tournament arc, where Torgaro picked up the tournament like ring and held it on his back. How did this man pick up wheels that big and built this thing? People say he's not superpowered, just still a regular vigilante. How did he do that? This man is insane.
I don't know, but I don't want that issue though. If they make a goddamn issue where they're showing him make giant wheels, I'm not going to be happy.
To be fair, he's an engineer. He could have made them. He's very smart, as they say. Possible.
Yeah, let's review this book.
But like, it's just okay. So he's supposed to be like, hidden and everything, the usual Batman stuff, right? He's driving this. How are they not going to track him? How does he not get tracked?
Maybe it's got some cloaking on it that didn't cost any money. Maybe he hides behind a tree. I don't know, man.
Oh God, man, Scott, stop watching Michael Bay movies. They're no good for you, man. But hey, this is gonna be all out crazy, ridiculous Batman. I'm all here for it. So we're gonna be picking off where we left off with the last issue. Okay, so his trauma of losing his dad to that shooter when he was younger, and then the bats, screech at him and they attack him. Yep. And then you get right here, Absolute Batman, The Zoo, Part 2 of 5. Great double page spread right there. Honestly, looks awesome. Nick Dragotta, pretty solid artist on the book. Continues off of the antagonists that were, in Gotham causing a bunch of havoc. We do find out it is Roman Sionis with this gang, the Party Animals. The Party Animals are still causing havoc in Gotham. Batman's been more alert at taking them down. There's this really cool battle scene between them in this aquarium where, this also proves how smart he is. This is the part where he was avoiding them on the ceiling, and then he dropped a concentrated version of vinegar into the salt water to turn it into hydrochloric acid. That was really cool. That was honestly a great thing to show off just like how smart he really is at making his gadgets. And they also show you in the book that, he can throw knives from his does he have a cape? It looks like he's just throwing knives out of that thing. Okay, so he throws knives out of his cape. Yeah, and he's still just mauling through them.
Good.
No, you're fine. Go ahead.
He's got the cape. He's got the knives for the ears, but he also has those, like, the gauntlets when he does stuff like this. Yeah, that they come out and he can like aim them all over the place. Basically, he is a walking arsenal, as opposed to having like the utility belt that he pulls everything out of. Everything is already ingrained into the suit. That's why I personally did not have a problem with the logo. because I knew as soon as he used it as an axe, I was like, okay, so the logo is not going to be as important like it is in, having the bat signal and those things, where it's not going to be this iconic thing. He actually uses everything to his advantage.
Yeah.
Everything in that suit is made to fuck people up.
Oh,
and
I remember.
I like that.
The motto of the book was because Alfred also monologues in the book as well. Basically, the main motto of the book, or message, you could say, is retreat and regroup. That's the message they want you to know throughout the book, that this Batman can basically retreat from a situation and regroup his thoughts and go into the next battle. So
yeah, because he's thinking, like, Alfred's thinking, since he's young, he doesn't have the experience, and he might not be as set up as, say, like Alfred is from the Shadows. But he's already been bested once, well, you could say twice, because he stole a shotgun and he stole his bike in the last one.
And he stole that truck that he calls a Batmobile.
Did he steal it, or was it already there? Because if you remember,
well, maybe he's just borrowing it for a little bit.
Well, it's got bat stuff on it. So, like, if you remember, like, he talked about, like, where all of his places had been, so.
Oh, also after that, Alfred is still tracking Bruce. He's still monitoring him. There's an interesting part where he finds out that Bruce is talking to his dad's killer, Joseph Chill. So that's
but you got before that, Bruce goes into the sewer, right? And then when Alfred's tracking him, let me.
We're talking about this page, right?
Yes. If you look at all the places that he has set up, it's the bat symbol.
Not gonna lie, I did notice that.
Yeah,
I did not. You're a genius.
It's the bat symbol, and that's what I'm saying. Like, he's got, like, all these things set up appropriately, that everything about him is tied into this Batman. Where our Bruce Wayne has that Bruce Wayne persona, right? He doesn't have that. He is Bruce Wayne during the day, and he does things, but even that Bruce Wayne, we'll see later in the poker game, is still doing Batman work. This should be, in my opinion, Batman without the Bruce Wayne. That's what it should be. That would make more sense to me. Because, like, the scenes we see with him as Bruce Wayne, they're not as important, in my opinion. Like, yeah, he has his mom, and we got to see him say, "Hi, Mom," and we get to see him talk to Joe Chill, or whatever you want to, I know it's Joe Chill, but still.
Well, Barbara talked to his mom, right? Because his mom visited Jim, right?
Yeah, his mom knows Jim and stuff, and, like,
Black
so it's
Jim.
like, yes. So I think that it's setting up to me to be more just Batman focused, as opposed to Bruce Wayne. There is, like, even while he's Bruce Wayne, he's Batman. So
they're doing that thing more of, like, Batman is the main driving factor of the story than Bruce is, because Bruce's
the personalities thing, they always have that question: is Bruce Wayne the actual mask, and is Batman the actual personality? Where in this, it is just Batman, and he only has to focus as Bruce Wayne to get around in the daytime.
And then he was getting tracked by the party animals again. Then he had this scene right there where he escaped them, and he always has to make this stuff very imagery. This one knows about that first book and this one. They're very image focused. They want you to focus on certain images. But, Jim's in the hospital, and then Bruce's mom visits him.
Wait. We're not going to talk about freaking, for one long forward moment, he's Batman as fuck. We're not going to talk about that?
What do you mean?
Come on.
Go ahead. Yeah. What?
The building, the building explodes, and it's in the shape of Batman's face. And he says, he said, "One long advance forward, Batman is fuck." Come on, that's hilarious.
Oh, good Lord, man.
Hilarious.
I like my trucks. That's what I get my kicks off of. My dirty, sick kicks.
Oh, God.
Oh, so yeah, I just said a moment ago there. Bruce's mom visits Jim. Babs is talking to him. Harvey Bullock is in the book, and as you guys know, if you watch the Batman animated series cartoons, Harvey Bullock kind of doesn't really like Batman as much. They have an antagonistic relationship. Then after that, we get a little bit of a more flashback with Bruce's backstory, where after his dad died, he kind of just, distanced himself from everyone, as you could see. Even when his mom tried talking to him, he said, just get out of here. So it's telling he really loved his dad a lot. That's, kind of a heartwarming moment right there.
Heartwarming.
I hate you. So,
I mean, it could be whelming too, I guess.
I said warming. Oh my God.
You totally didn't. You said heartwhelming.
I said heartwhelming? Really?
Yes, you did.
Did I say, oh my goodness. See, that's why I have a white person here with me. They can correct all my grammar because I watch CNN.
You watch CNN?
Not necessarily on Tuesday, but I normally always criticize ads CNN. Because, ads sometimes can just be, it breaks your story focus. This double page ad spread right here for DC All In, I thought was really, really, really cool. Look at that. That's great.
Cool.
Right there.
It's a nice spread. It's a nice spread. Yeah.
I was spreading my wife's ass, last night. But,
oh boy.
Oh, so we get to the point where, the kind of the motto in the book as well is like, as you said, it's mostly Batman focused, but they do mention stuff from the last book where in the last book, I remember, correct if I'm wrong, he doesn't really visit his friends all that much. Or I don't know if these are his friends.
No, they are his friends. It's the friends he grew up with, because there was that picture of them. Right. Croc Wayland invited him to a poker game, and he was like, I'm not coming.
Yeah.
But as he has a friend, Edward Nygma, who is very smart, when he takes something from one of the party animals, he takes one of their masks, he ends up showing up to the poker game.
And then at this poker game, his friends are Edward Nygma, Oswald Cobblepot, you have Killer Croc, and then you also have Harvey Dent. Those are his friends. And basically
missing is Selena Kyle.
Oh, oof. So was he having some hot sex with Selena before he got to this?
Why?
Are you saying he got in that pussy? Oh, dude, zingers right there. Absolute.
That's not
zingers.
A zinger, though.
Oh my God.
That's not a zinger. A zinger.
Are you saying that he was spreading them ass cheeks before he got to his friends?
Yes. That's what I'm saying.
Oh God. Okay. So basically the point of this part is that I think it was Riddler tipped Bruce off about a guy that he needed to go see in order to get more information on the party animals. So that's how Bruce was taking it, but Bruce wasn't telling he's Batman, obviously. You could tell he was fishing for information out of them with what they knew. Not in an antagonistic way, not like a, hey, I'm not going to treat these guys like my friends, but you could tell he was there to get a lead on something that he was looking for. And then he does get the lead he was looking for. And he goes. Well,
he asks him about the tech in the helmet.
Yeah.
Because he's like, I don't have anything to bet. That's another thing where he doesn't have money, right? But he's like,
buy these tires.
I got this, and he's got one of the helmets. And Edward Nygma is very intrigued by the helmet. He wants to look at it, and he starts seeing what technology's in there, and he's like kind of telling him like, hey man, this stuff is highly advanced. Whatever you're getting into is way over your head. So they're showing that his friends, even though he's a loner, he's still Bruce to them. And it's they don't think of him as that guy that could possibly take care of himself in this type of situation. You're getting in way over your head here.
He does get his lead, as I just mentioned a moment ago, goes to the place. And let's be honest here. We've seen this happen in not just movies, television, anime. When anyone's doing anything crime detective related, they go with the flash drive, they hook it into the computer, and then they get caught. At some point, they do get caught. That's just always how that goes. He does get caught being there, and it is Roman Sionis, Black Mass, who ends up talking to him not that long, because he basically says, I have a deal for you.
Yep.
Gotham PD is outside, so he's kind of trapped. You have party animals coming in with bazookas, shooting him. He dodges the missile, which was, good Lord, this man dodged a missile to his face. That's actually crazy.
Yeah, well, it's an RPG, but yes, he still dodged it. Yeah.
Ridiculous book, man. It's absolutely so fun. So he realizes he is pretty much outnumbered, goes down this elevator shaft, and then Alfred's there. Alfred's been tracking him, just like he was in the last book. And he says, basically, long story short, we can team up. We can make some sort of Suicide Squad. Oh, guys, I'm kidding. That's not what it said.
It's well, like he slides down the elevator shaft and he lands on something and he opens up a hatch and he's got his like hands on the thing and his hands on a rail here.
Mhm.
What I want to know is this.
Mhm.
Alfred's walking over to him, right?
Yeah.
What did he think he was walking on?
How did he get inside of it?
Well, what happens next is it's not even necessarily if he's even inside of it, right? What did he think he was walking on and what did he walk off of to get onto this? Like, I don't know where the level of ground that he made up.
That was my, you know what was crazy? That was my actual only issue with the book was that part. Cause it felt like Scott, he wanted to get to the next part so bad. He just went in with made up some bullshit right there just to progress the story forward. Cause that made how did he not know he was in something that big?
Right. Well, like, because he's
tracking
like
him. He's tracking the whole book.
Right.
That's what he found him there.
He's telling him, and I think the reason why I asked this question is because he's like, look, we have to get out of here, and if you don't, you're fucked. He's like, I have a car back here, like back this way. We can go, and he's like, he's like 30 seconds, and he tells him, he's like, I have a car hidden out back, unless you have one, huh? And he's like, you're standing in it. And it's like, wait, what? And he's so surprised by it. He flies backwards, Alfred. And it's like, wait a minute, what? How did that happen? How did he not know he was inside of some sort of automobile? Like, that's what I want to know. Because he's looking, you look at it and it's like right there, like he's literally like you're standing in it. And that's the thing that pops out of the building. And look how small the people are compared to it. So also, how did Alfred not know he was in some sort of vehicle of some sort?
I just want to point out, Alfred is definitely very smart in this. Not to take that away from him. He's been tracking Bruce basically 2 issues straight. I was going to point out, how in the world did he not know he was in something that big? That's just ridiculous.
I don't know. Yeah, I don't know. But you know what? Here's the thing. It's one of those fun things. It's one of those fun things that I like to ask, but I'm being honest. When I read it, I didn't care. I'm being honest. Like, I didn't care.
So just like when I banged my wife, you didn't care.
Well, why would I?
She's
not real.
Whoa. Hold on. You're right. So it reminded me of just when I read Aliens versus Avengers #1 by Jonathan Hickman. There's that part where it just went and progressed, though it made no sense to how it progressed.
What, Aliens versus Avengers?
There was a part where literally it made no sense about how it progressed, just like this. Very, very, very similar. It made no sense, but it just did it. And I was like, I mean, I guess, you have that in comic books, random shit that happens.
I'm going to have to read that.
And you read it, and I will give you a cookie. So,
I don't want cookies.
After that, Bruce, with his brand new dumpster truck Batmobile that he apparently is on an engineer salary, can build. And I don't know how, I haven't read Absolute Batman #3 yet, obviously, when we're doing this review. But how could they not track this? If they can't track him, this city's police are trash.
Gotham's police have always been trash. I mean, come on.
And then after that, we get a flashback to Bruce's past once again, and it's Selina.
So it's like very end of the book. It's like he didn't want to hang out with any of his friends, right? But Selina was the one person that could talk to him through like his dad's thing. Like, it's the only person that he acknowledged and didn't shun away, because his friends, like all the guys, Edward, all them, the same guys at the poker game, they were outside his window, like, come on, Bruce, come on out. We want to hang out. And he's like, fuck you. No. And Selina comes to his window, with her little cat ears on her freaking hoodie. Of course, that's what she would have on.
Of course, Bruce would be doing it at that age. Man, he's like, all depressed about his dad. And
he's like, get up. Are you coming with me? He's like, oh, yeah.
Yeah, that's where it ends. Yeah, Selina Kyle is the character he's going to end up apparently going with in the next book, hopefully. And then after that, you get an ad. See, I like that for these books so far. The ad placements have been not too jarring in places where it breaks the story. And that cover, as you guys know, which is a Dan Mora cover, looks absolutely amazing. Looks great. And we will be getting to Just League Unlimited #1 very, very soon. This is what they need to do. This is where all ads need to do in comic books. Put that shit at the very end of the book. No one's trying to have their story imagination when they're trying to like even visualize how the characters are talking be broken by an ad, but I get it, you know? And then after that, that's how book 2 ends for Absolute Batman. So yeah, overall, you know, very fun issue. It's just the very end where they just made some nonsense out of Alfred not knowing that he was inside of a giant Batmobile like that. And they just progressed the story in that very odd, weird way. But other than that, I enjoyed it. It was fun. It's ridiculous, crazy.
Yeah. It's fun. It's definitely moving the story along a lot too.
Well, so what are your last thoughts? You all in? I've outdone myself tonight, guys. I'm literally a genius.
Okay. Z said it was so big that he didn't even realize he was in a vehicle. I got you. I got it. It was so giant that how could you even know that it was a vehicle? And it was dark. So maybe he was in the giant bucket in the back and thought it was
in the last issue, he knew that Bruce was even in like locations that he thought were
but he was tracking him. He was tracking him. That's different than knowing that he has a giant truck at the bottom of a building.
Oh, you know, God, I love this. Different. I'm not gonna lie, I love this Batman. It's just so, oh God, Michael Bay has entered the DC universe, as far as comics wise, and I'm all here for it. But yeah,
I bought some new Power Ranger helmets too.
Do you have Justice League versus of Power Rangers?
Yeah,
I have that too.
Wink, I have it.
Yeah,
I do have it.
So,
yeah.
Do you have my Riz and my good looks and my money?
I don't know what Riz is. I'm not that good looking, but that's I have money. But I have money. So there's that.
So you're essentially Absolute Batman without the money.
No. I'm definitely Lap's comic fan, more known as Steve.
How dare you be Steve?
That's my name.
You need to be a Jeff. Well,
you mean Geoff?
Geoff. Oh God. Yeah. So for me, fun book, crazy, ridiculous book, but definitely not as good as book 1. Issue 1 was very much way better, but this was fine. Just cool, ridiculous, fun. Just basically like a classic action movie with ridiculousness attached to it. But this Batman is just all types of crazy, and I'm all here for it.
He's definitely brutal. He's definitely brutal.
Brutal's an understatement. That guy was whacking people with his axe to the neck.
What?
Whacking. You know, I put the emphasis on the H, like Family Guy and Stewie. It's okay. So
cool whip.
Well, so
he was whipping.
Did you know?
But listen, you're gonna mess up the next segment anyway. So
I would never do that. But yeah, okay. All jokes aside, guys.
Right,
yeah, I am. Okay, I'm all in for this Absolute Batman. Scott Snyder, you're doing some good work here. Just if you're gonna do moments like that, literally, just take your time, put the extra panel in, have the artist do it.
But it wouldn't have made such a big splash if, like, him busting out of a building if we already knew that he was in a big giant thing. You know?
That is true. What? See, this is the thing. That's why you're rich and successful, and I'm a black guy. But yes, thank you guys for checking out this video. If you guys are returning viewers or new viewers, then please consider subscribing to the channel if you have not already. Leave a like on this video if you enjoyed it and comment down below. Also, make sure you guys hit the notification bell. That way you guys can get notified on whenever I upload a brand new video. And I am MSK, aka Master Swag King, and we're going to be signing out, guys. See you guys later. Deuces. Peace. And I am going to be putting this up into books that I've read. Oh, God, I'm old. What's the next book we have? Oh, Absolute Batman number 3. Holy shit. Okay, so now Laps is just the White Ranger.
I don't agree with you.
Gosh, man. I've lost you, dude. How dare you? All right, we're going to bring up the next topic in just a moment here. Give me like, we're going to do like 2 minutes of rest. We're going to go straight into it. We have the Batman number 1. Holy crap. I got to break that one down, don't we? Holy freaking shit. But, what was I going to say? So, you guys know how me and Laps do the show on Friday. That is not coming to an end. But, given his new work schedule, we probably won't be doing the show on Friday as much. give or take. We don't know yet. We literally just don't know yet.
Yeah, I don't know my schedule coming up, so I will let you all know.
What other day would work for you then?
I don't know yet. I might be working 6 days a week. I might be working 6 days a week, so I would need at least one day. Like, I don't know how long it's going to be. Like I said, I will let you know next week. Okay. I'll definitely be able to do Tuesdays for sure.
That's fine. As long as at least we get once a week, it's fine too. Don't worry, guys. I have another backup. I have a backup. Don't worry.
You got a spare white guy in that door back there?
He's light skinned, but it's like a double whammy right there. You know. I don't blame Laps though. He has a bunch of dentist appointments as well. He's basically saying the equivalent of you going out for cigarettes.
Hey, listen. I've had to go get milk a few times.
Oh, God, I hate you. But yeah, at least we'll start off the show Tuesday. Professor Savage Dad, well, he's not available Friday, but I already have a potential option for Friday in the meantime until you figure out what your new schedule is going to be. So don't worry. That's why I'm Luna Shikamaru. 3 moves ahead, guys. That's how you know I'm a genius. Also, do you want to correct the record? The reason why I was saying I meant as a criticism is because, there's just, man, recently since the channel, the comic one I have has been growing, people have just been getting retarded. That's why I made sure to preference what I was saying is not a bad criticism, because I will show you the bullshit people were telling me on that video I did with Savage Dad talking about the rebooted Batman #1. Oh my God.
Well, here's the thing. Here's the thing. You can't worry about that. Like, here's the thing. I did a video for an old X-Men cartoon, right?
Oh, okay.
It was a promo cartoon that they did that came out in like 1989. And it did decent, for my channel. It got like a few thousand views. And there were some people that had opinions for things that I said about the X-Men 92 series, where I said a lot of the voiceover work, not the main characters, but like a lot of the voiceover work was cheesy to me. Like the Cajuns, they all were just like stereotyped. The same thing with the Storm episodes. There's this one guy, he shit all over me, right? So I just said, hey, man, thanks for watching. You're the one watching me. I'm not watching you. I just said, hey, man, thanks for watching. And, I'll say whatever the fuck I want because I'm the person making the video. If you don't want to watch, you don't have to watch. I don't want to stand there and preface every comment that I say.
Oh, yeah. It's just one of those things
but I understand if you feel you have to.
Oh, no. The reason why I was saying certain things that way is because, I was trying to, figure out what's the best way of saying certain things without them coming off as good or bad. But then again, you're right. People are going to just interpret them as bad if you're criticizing anything they love at any little small.
Even if you're not. Like, I mean, I've had people call me right wing. I've had people call me left wing. And I'm like, dude,
you're a libertarian.
I just exist, right? When it comes to politics, dude, like I sit there and I go, I don't give a fuck. You know why? Because nothing really changes in the big scheme of things. Nothing has really changed since I was a kid. I go out and I just live by my own rules. Like, I try not to get arrested.
Oh, God, man. It was,
that's just kind of how I live.
Just don't read. I said in the video, even what we said in the video matches the title. I usually don't do titles where they don't match what we're saying in the video. DC Comics is rebooting the main Batman and Superman titles, which they are, as we know now. I wasn't wrong about that. The person was like, they're not, the Superman movie's just DOA. I was like, buddy, do you know this is about comics? For information, this is about comics, right?
Yeah,
people are just reading titles and looking at thumbnails, and they ain't even listening to what the hell's being said. And then they're outraged about something that isn't even. I hate people,
dude. I had a guy that I was doing. I did the Black Panther Conquered one shot, right? Yeah. And I was like, let's see where this story goes in the next issue. And he was like, dude, it's a one shot. I was like, yes, but Black Panther is like, it's continuing in the Black Panther. Like that they just want anything that you say that is not 100% worded right. People are going to jump all over it. You just have to like go with the flow, man. And just be like, guess what? I don't give a fuck what you say. I care that you're supporting me, but if you're just going to say something stupid like that, then fine. But if you want to engage I will do that with anybody. I don't care what your background is, where you come from. That doesn't bother me. Like, we can talk until, like, you know, you start being really stupid. And I think that's for everybody, you know, like people. He said, okay. Sorry, I'm reading the comments. They're funny.
I don't get it, man. I don't get it.
It's a bunch of hyperbole.
Yeah, you know, I didn't even. God, we're not doing this tonight. We're not. It's okay. I'm a genius. The IQ is there, and my brain works.
Well, it matches the word. It matches it. It is a lot of hyperbole.
And keep in mind, guys, there's a lot to go over tonight. And just even when we do the show next week, oh god, it's crazy because we're only going to be able to even get like one topic. Because after our show, when we do Absolute Batman number 3, given how fast we do that, I'm gonna try and make sure we get in, talk for maybe 5 minutes, do the review, no longer than like maybe 20, whatever. Get to the topic because goddamn, there's so much juicy stuff, guys. It's so juicy. My mouth is watering, and it's Christmas for me. You know, all this meat I'm just sucking on right now is so damn good. Getting it all the way down to my esophagus. I love comic books. Right? Don't you love comic books and butt fucking? No? Are you ready for these absolute gigabytes?
Why do you do this when you have like indie writers on?
Debatably.
Do you?
I've had some girls on, and they've been trying to ride me after we've had a show.
I don't believe that.
It didn't happen
at all.
But I did say it because I'm just a fucking liar and a piece of shit.
And the truth comes out.
I do not tell the truth. I know I'm not Dr. Fate. I predicted for this to happen. Wait, can that helmet do that? No, that's pretty shit in the future. My brain's messed up with characters right now.
I mean, well, Dr. Fate, he did have this big thing with the what's his name? The Psycho Pirate, right? Where he absorbed a bunch of his stuff, so he could technically like influence the future with people's emotions. Hello? They would be outcomes that could possibly be.
All right, let's get into these gigabangers because these are really good. You guys are going to love these. All right, brain working, and it's on. Hey everyone, I am MSK, aka Master Swag King, coming at you guys today with another video. And if you guys are returning viewers or new viewers, then please consider subscribing to the channel if you have not already. Leave a like on this video if you enjoyed it and comment down below. Also, make sure you guys hit the notification bell. That way you guys can get notified on whenever I upload a brand new video. And in today's video, we are going to be talking about DC Comics and Sonic the Hedgehog, two of my favorite things in the entire world. Batman, Superman, The Flash, Wonder Woman, and Sonic the Hedgehog, and Knuckles the Echidna, and Tails, and Amy, Shadow the Hedgehog, all gonna be having this cool collaboration coming up later on this year for DC Comics in this nice little crossover they're gonna do with IDW and Sega for the most part, because, you know, Sega owns the Sonic the Hedgehog IP. So we actually had a video on the channel where it was me and Professor Savage Dad talking about this announcement when it was first announced. Really cool designs they're going to do, like Sonic is going to be the Flash, Batman's going to be Shadow, Amy's going to be, I think, Wonder Woman, Tails is going to be Cyborg. Really cool shit, you know? Hey, if you have kids out there, they love Sonic the Hedgehog, you want them to get into DC, cool collaboration event right there. And you know what's cool, man? We actually have a synopsis of what the first issue is going to be. Guys, keep in mind, the Justice League, Sonic the Hedgehog, teaming up to beat Darkseid is Christmas for me right now. That is actually so fucking cool.
Is he going to be Dr. Darkseid?
Eggman and Darkseid.
Is he going to be
collaborating
Dr. Darkseid?
To beat the Justice League and Sonic? Shadow and Batman.
If the YouTube channel ever fails, dude, you definitely have a career in telling people on airplanes what to do and what happens and where things are. You know, you could be the best at it.
I'm already the best at everything because I'm a goddamn genius. But yes, so we actually have the synopsis of what's going to happen with the Justice League and Sonic issue number 1 that'll be dropping very, very soon. It's official. DZ is crossing over with Sonic the Hedgehog, all thanks to the Justice League. Sonic the Hedgehog is getting ready to race into the DC universe as he joins the Justice League, kicking off a crossover event that fans of both franchises can celebrate. DC Comics is no stranger to crossovers. Superman has even fought Rick Sanchez before, even fought Muhammad Ali before too. But this one might be the most daring yet because Sonic and his friends are about to embark on an unforgettable adventure with DC's greatest superheroes. In DC's March 2025 solicitations, the first official look at Sonic's crossover with the Justice League has been unveiled. Ian Flynn and Adam Bryce Thomas, known for their impressive work on IDW publishing Sonic the Hedgehog comics, return to bring this highly anticipated team up to life. So you have DC and Sonic the Hedgehog issue number 1 coming out. Look at that cover art.
Let's just say, I will say, the Sonic comics, me and my son, my young son, he loves Sonic. I bought him like the first 10. I think I have the first 10 trades. I think so, like 8 or 9, whatever. They're fun, man. They're fantastic. We read at least 1 or 2 chapters every night.
I actually bought all of them in order. I have all of them currently where they're at right now. Eventually, we gotta review them. They look very, very, very fun.
They're fun, man. They're fun.
But look at this, man. How could you not be happy about this? This is actually, I'm not gonna lie, one of the most hyped collabs I've been for in comic books almost ever. 2 of my favorite franchises collabing, like Flash.
Dude, I was hyped for the Power Rangers and Godzilla. I loved it. It was awesome.
I did hear about those.
They were fantastic.
This is what I want. DC, please, when this is over and this event ends at 5 issues, we'll do more crossovers too. But I need Flash and Sonic to be like getting ready to race, and they just go off and it ends. I'll die a happy man if that happens.
Dude, what they need to do is a Justice League Sonic Power Rangers event where they fight all the villains together.
That would be too much. My whole body would melt. I would have 5 orgasms
it needs
in a
to
row.
be six issues, and it needs to be taken not like, they need to be written coherently, but not as serious, and it be more, and just have Batman just be so frustrated that he has to work with, sentient hedgehogs. It'd be fantastic.
Man, could you imagine Batman and Shadow the Hedgehog having got, guys, I'm not gonna lie, I'm super hyped for this. I can't wait for us to review this when we actually do have a chance to, when it starts going. Oh my God, I'm so hyped for this. Release date, March 19th, 2025. Writer Ian Flynn, artist Adam Bryce Thomas, cover artist Pablo Encolar, variant covers with Ethan Young, Thomas Kruckenberg. What a name there. It's a crossover event unlike any other. The monstrous Darkseid crosses dimensions to invade the world of Sonic the Hedgehog, seeking the ultimate power. Sonic and his friends have faced everything from mad scientists to ancient spirits, but the forces of apocalypse may be too much for them. Thankfully, the full heroic might of the Justice League arrives to back them up. Don't miss part 1 of this unique crossover event. In this miniseries, Darkseid will bring DC lore to Sonic's universe as he attacks the Blue Hedgehog and its allies. And let's be honest here, guys, if Darkseid even just got a chance to grab Sonic, he would choke him to death and kill him. So obviously, they're not going to have that happen. Luckily, Sonic will have backup because the Justice League is set to team up with him for this fight. Sonic, Shadow, and more are joining forces with the Justice League, and fans can look forward to seeing these action-packed worlds collide. You can look at that right there. Look at that team up. Cool as hell, man. If you guys, that's the artwork they've already released. Silver Shadow, Silver Sonic gonna be Green Lantern. You can't tell me this isn't fun. This isn't a cool event they're doing. Have some love in your heart, guys. Blue Hedgehog and DC. Just, oh my God. Having sex with my wife is gonna be so good after reading this. Allegedly in Minecraft.
Yeah, dude, you're gonna have to actually get a whole pump for that one. Because your lips are gonna go.
Oh God,
you're gonna be out of breath. You're just gonna have to get one of them like pumps that you use with your foot.
Gosh, man. The epic crossover between Sonic and the Justice League was initially announced back in September. In 2024, when DC released a YouTube video from a Sonic Central live stream that laid out plans for the collaboration.
That's cool. That's actually really cool.
The trailer looked really, really cool. Yeah.
I love when they do that type of stuff.
The head of Sega Brands discussed the miniseries and revealed artwork of Sonic characters combined with iconic DC heroes. These include Shadow the Hedgehog sporting his own Batman costume, Amy Rose as cool. Wonder Woman, Silver the Hedgehog wielding the Green Lantern ring, and more.
Ooh, and that actually makes sense that Silver would have the green. Oh, that's pretty neat. Look at that. That's pretty dope, dude.
Knuckles is Superman. Oh, okay. All right. He would be fucking Adam, not Superman. Only he's Superman, but he would be Adam. I'll give him that.
I mean, his personality doesn't match Superman.
Definitely not.
But his power set kind of does.
Yeah, like that's the thing is most of these guys' personalities match these characters. Well, Amy's kind of in love with Sonic, and would you pair Wonder Woman and Superman as a couple most of the time? Not really, right?
So, well, they were in New 52.
I remember that.
There was certain times, but no, most of the time not. No. There was like Batman and Wonder Woman were kind of like with each other for a little bit. But it's mostly Diana and Steve Trevor. So like, you know, that's been their thing. Like, I'll say this. I'll give DC credit that they stick to those things. Like, you know, they tried to do new stuff with the New 52 and it, you know, obviously those relationships didn't work. And when they did Rebirth, you know, it made it all that much better because it's like Green Arrow's got to be with Black Canary. You know, those like things have been established for so long, and Superman without Lois Lane is just weird. It's
so
just
who should I be with? Scarlett Johansson, Selena Gomez, right? I should be with them.
I mean, dude, you can call your imaginary wife whatever you want, bro.
I got Sydney Sweeney, dude.
Yeah, I still don't think your imagination is that good.
To see these revamped Justice League designs in action, fans of Sonic should be sure to check out DC and Sonic the Hedgehog. According to the synopsis for the first issue of this miniseries, Darkseid will be invading the Sonic universe in search of power. His desire to take Sonic's power for himself makes sense since Sonic possesses immense speed that he's channeled in innovative ways over the years. Furthermore,
it just shows that these people don't know anything. That's what they're talking about. Like, they're saying Chaos Emerald's next, but that would be the entire reason why he would go there. He's not going, oh my God, that little hedgehog has such speed. That's what I need.
He's the Flash before, guys. Flash is faster. I like both of my speedsters,
and he had the Death Racer. So you know what I mean? Like, it's the Chaos Emeralds. Let's be. So.
Furthermore, his world contains the Chaos Emeralds, which Sonic and his Hedgehog allies use to unlock their super transformations. Oh, okay. I'm predicting for this. We're gonna get a super Darkseid.
Dude, if we get Chaos controlled Darkseid, that would be awesome.
I don't know how they win.
I'm all for it. I
don't know how they be a character that powerful. If
I'm all for it.
Darkseid, no, you're better than that.
But you don't know. No. You want to know how they'll do it? Sonic is going to go into the Speed Force with the Flash.
I'm just going to melt down at all these great possibilities.
Dude, it would be awesome.
I love them. Could you imagine a world where the Chaos Emeralds will make Batman a super Batman?
Dude, I want to see Sonic in the Speed Force. Imagine all the stuff he could do.
If he's not faster in his own universe after this crossover, after this, I call bullshit.
I think it'll be good. It'll be fun.
In enemy hands, they've been used for sinister means. No shit. And Darkseid could tap into newfound levels of power with them at his disposal. To thwart his plan, Sonic and the Justice League will need to work together and unleash their own potential. One of the most exciting aspects of Sonic's imminent run in with the Justice League is the prospect of him meeting the Flash, DC's fastest speedster. While the Sonic has a reputation as the speediest hedgehog around his own continuity, it's Flash who holds that title within the DC universe. As such, this crossover marks a perfect opportunity for Sonic and the Flash to settle which one of them is the true fastest hero once and for all. Sonic the Hedgehog Justice League's team up opens up plenty of opportunities for never before seen interactions between these beloved characters, making this series an absolute must read. I agree. DC and Sonic the Hedgehog #1 will be available March 19th, 2025 from DC Comics. Also, to add to that,
I will definitely be getting that.
This is a literally, I'm getting this ASAP. And we'll potentially be reviewing this also ASAP.
Yeah.
Because, research purposes.
I'll definitely read it for sure.
Oh, hell yeah. Now, the only thing, not a problem, but the one thing I have to actually say, I don't know if this is taking after like Justice League Unlimited, from we know what happened before Absolute Power, they're going to be using Wally West to race Sonic. And guys, Wally West would kind of just smoke him. We know how fast Wally is, right? They run like so fast they fucking broke everything or some shit in the universe, whatever that fucking bullshit was back in the day.
He can yeah, he can transist through matter
because they're not using Barry. They retired Barry for some bullshit reason. So,
well, that's the thing, though. I'm telling you, like at the time that Johns brought back Barry, Wally was way more popular, dude.
Yo, you're
that's
right.
Why that's why he was in the show. You got to remember that. It's like that. They loved him. So retiring
really
Barry
had that resurgence with Flashpoint and New 52. Actually, he was dead for a while. They only brought him back.
Yeah. Yeah. Well, they brought him back, like in John's run, and they did the Mark Waid did Rebirth, and then they established the Speed Force, and that made Wally because that was different. Like that was huge. Like it was like, okay, here's an answer for why the Flash was able to do things. And I think also with Jeff Johns, they did a lot of stuff where you knew no matter what happened in an event, the Flash was going to solve it. Like, cause he's a huge Flash guy, like Flash was going to run so fast that he was going to fix the problem.
And that's the thing that all wraps this up is I need Superman to get all 7 Chaos Emeralds and become a Superman. And to be fair, wouldn't that just be Superman 1 million?
Yeah, I would say we've already seen that.
Which hero gets the Chaos Emeralds to get a super transformation? They're going to give it to Batman. It's like their golden child.
I think it would be more the villain would probably
Darkseid would get it first, yeah. But when they get the Chaos Emeralds,
I don't know. Maybe it's like they downplay the ability of Sonic until he gets the Chaos Emeralds. I don't know. Like we'll see.
Talking to Cyborg just sounds so cool, given that they're both tech guys. This is really cool. I really love the idea here. I absolutely love it, man. Sign me up for this shit. This is gonna be not a banger, a giga banger, actually. Right. And you should definitely get this for your kids and introduce them to fucking DC. Not you. You're already taken and married, bastard. I mean, you other incels out there. Get a wife and get some kids.
You said I was taken and I'm a bastard, as if you were applying to the Steve Network. Where do I sign up for you, buddy?
Yeah. All right, man. What is your closing thoughts on this?
Nothing. I'm definitely gonna read it. I'm going to read it with my son because that will hopefully help me transition him over to other heroes, but still keeping him in the Sonic universe. Because, I mean, like, anytime there's a Sonic game, dude, I mean, you should see, like, upstairs in his room, it's ridiculous. I've bought him Lego Sonic sets. He puts them all together. I've bought him, like, the Emerald.
Did you get him Sonic Frontier, that new one that came out?
Oh, yeah. I got, dude, we have...
you bought him Sonic Generations, didn't you?
Yeah. Oh. I have I'm not joking. I'll show you a picture one day. I've kept every video game system that I've ever had and all the games.
I've sold most of them.
So I still have my ColecoVision. I have my Atari 2600. I have my Atari 5200, 7800, an NES, a Super Nintendo, but I still have all my Genesis stuff. And he just, for some reason, he loves Sonic, and like he loves Sonic so much to the point where he plays Sonic 2, like the bonus stages where you have to collect the dots and you have to like turn. Dude, he gets like all of them and it's no problem. And I could never do that because it's such wonky controls. It's just so terrible controls when you're doing it. And he just does it like some crazy little savant kid. And I'll ask him, like, how the hell did you do that? And he'd be like, I just did it. I'm like, that's pretty badass, kid. But yeah,
that's the reason why you have a white kid, because a black kid will be asking to be smoking a doobie and trying to like hit up the homies saying the N-word.
Well, we have most of the Sonic games. I even have the terrible Sonic R, which is one of the worst games that I've ever played in the history of video games.
Did he play Sonic 06?
Yeah.
Oh god, what a doozy that game is. Holy
no,
fuck.
the Sonic R is not. It's not even close.
Really?
Sonic R is.
Okay.
Go look at that game.
Did he play Sonic Adventure by Battle too?
Mm-hmm.
That game still.
I'm telling you, listen, dude.
Ever.
I probably have a stack of Sonic games.
Did you take him to see Sonic the Hedgehog 3? It came out last year.
My wife did.
Okay.
I did not get to
You're
go.
like, I'm too cool to go see Sonic.
No, I wanted to. I wanted to. I wanted to. I was just working. So I took him to see Despicable Me 4. And she took him to see the Sonic 3.
See, guys, that's what you should do as a parent. Reward your kids for doing good in school. And you know, your kid does great in school, and he should be rewarded for that.
He does very good in school. He has some like weird behavior issues, but like his grades are very good.
That's what happens when he's probably a shut-in nerd. Or that's what's going to happen to him. Like I was. But I came out, don't worry, guys. I came out just perfectly fine. No problems with me. But yeah, I super hyped for this. Can't wait for this. This is honestly one of the best ideas DC's done in a very long time in a collaboration with
It's a cool collaboration. It's a cool collaboration. 100%.
If they fuck this up, I will be mad. I'm not gonna lie. I'm not letting them live this down for a while. This will be one thing I bring up constantly.
It kind of writes itself, though. You know what I mean?
If it doesn't, I'm gonna be so mad. Dude, how could you mess this up? This is such a slam dunk.
It doesn't, like you said, it doesn't need to be Shakespeare or anything. It just needs to be what it is. Like, and it's so easy. And I could think of like 10 stories right now of what to do. You just base things on the game and on the world of DC. And that's how you do it. You bring them into DC's world so they can interact and be like, yo, what the hell is this? Because they're, you know, animated hedgehog. And then you bring them into Sonic's world. You have both worlds interact together and it would be awesome.
All right. So I'm hyped for it and we'll see how it's going to play out.
See, dude, I'm telling you, dude, you need to work on an airplane as a stewardess, telling people where the oxygen mask is and the exit doors are over here and over here.
And where my wife's butthole is at. So thank you guys for checking out this video. If you guys are returning viewers or new viewers, then please consider subscribing to the channel if you have not already. Leave a like on this video if you enjoyed it and comment down below. Also, make sure you guys hit the notification bell. That way you guys can get notified whenever I upload a brand new video. I'm MSK, aka Master Swag King, and we're going to be signing out, guys. See you guys later. Peace. One more, and we're going to be eating out my butthole. You ready?
I gotta go to bed. It's like 1:30 in the morning here. You think I was ready for one more? I was not. I'm dead. But yeah, we're gonna have to go to bed very, very soon. So we'll pencil Batman in for Tuesday when we do Absolute Batman number 3, actually. So, but yeah, dude, I'm excited about that. That's pretty cool.
Yes, there's a lot to discuss over there, and it's probably better if we do that when we're just refreshed and ready, because we give our full opinions on it without dying over here, honestly. But you yourself, after feeling like complete shit, honestly, will be back doing content.
Yeah.
You recorded. What video are you working on next?
So I have the Bat Bits recorded, and I have Batman. I have the comic we just did almost fully edited, because if you ever watch my video, they're massively edited. Like I do them like storybooks, so like it takes a long time and it's only me doing it. I don't, and I'm not like an editing genius, but I have 3 videos working, and I have not. I wanted them done 2 weeks ago when I was off work, and then I got sick. And I had to go to the hospital last week. And then I started the new job this week. And it is, to say it's a clusterfuck there is an understatement. So it's like, it's not cool right now. So hopefully I will have time this next week and I will find out what my new schedule is, because they need so many people that I'm going to be working 6 days a week. I'm pretty positive I'm going to be.
Damn. Fuck,
and I might have to travel too. So there's that.
So we're going to be doing even less shows than normal, won't
No,
we?
I'll still do Tuesdays regardless. Like, even if I'm somewhere, I'll still do it. Like,
I hate
I
you.
like the Tuesday show. It's just
Yeah, it's
like
fun.
late at night even on a Friday, like if I'm working on a Saturday, I just won't be able to do that
It's
because
fine,
like
man.
I
Ain't no worries.
usually have to be up at 5 in the morning.
Don't worry, man.
So,
I already got a backup
you know,
plan.
are you cheating on me?
When you see your replacement, you're going to be like, damn, this guy really, really loves white people.
Oh, okay. But yeah, I mean,
Oh.
I will try to make it work so we can still do 2 shows a week. Because I like doing this. It's fun.
Also, guys, I know you guys love the reviews, but given the fact that we might have to scale down the reviews, getting one book done, and keep in mind, doing one book is also sometimes fine because reading as much as I have been doing recently, I love it, and my brain is fried, and I want it to be fried like a grill when you have all that black charcoal on it.
But if we only had one day to review, we could do 2 books if we just scale back.
You think my brain can jumble all that shit?
Yeah, if we scaled back the retardedness, 100% we could do 2 books.
What did I do?
I didn't say just you. I said if we.
No, you're right. We probably should. Not. That's not even your fault. I have to do this better with the shows. Come in, intro talk, no more than like 5 minutes. Get to the topics.
Because if we kept, like, if we did now, the first Batman was obviously just too long. But if we did like 2 and 3 or like 3 and 4 together, we could do that.
Yeah. It's just I think literally my fault. I know I have to work on that better, getting to things quicker. But a lot of people like the free talk a lot.
So that's what I was gonna say. That in contrast, though, like if we did a show like a Tuesday show, I don't mind staying later because the fun talk that's the best way to build the community is for them to get to know you
think
obviously,
I like these
but
people?
like
these guys are clout chasing pieces of shit here.
You pointed at me.
I'm pointing at the chat. Oh my god.
I like the chat, dude. I like the chat.
This guy's a common L machine.
I think he's a W. 100%.
But good lord. Fun talk, MSK's opinions. Good lord.
I mean, I look at it as, you're building something as much whether they like you or not, which I believe they do. It's just, fun to do this thing. What you need to do is get a show where you have like 6 people on and we have topics that in just nature would devise opinion.
Oh, Lord.
Because all you have to do is bring me on one of those shows, dude, and I guarantee you no one's going to like my opinion.
Yeah, once you say that fucking thing you do of like, it's not made for me, it's just like, that's going to set people off. And the other thing is, I don't wholly disagree on the premise of that aspect, that it's not made for you, but it's like the way a company point of view of it, right? If people in the company are promoting a movie or whatever, and they say it's not made for you and it doesn't do well, well, if you tell a bunch of people it's not made for them, they're gonna support it, you know?
So here's where that is total bullshit. You want to know why?
No, God!
Do you think that Taylor Swift is making albums for me?
There are exceptions to the rule.
No, there's not.
What do you mean? She would be the exception, though. She would be a clear exception.
There's 400 million people in the United States.
I touch myself to that music.
400 million people in the United States and billions across the world. Not everything is going to be made with your desired taste.
Yeah, but if I'm the fan base of it,
Okay, right?
It's music in general.
Hold on. What I'm saying is, I understand that. I wish that, yes, the Marvel movies, MCU, I wish that they stuck to the lore, to the continuity, 100%. But when they haven't been doing that for so long, right? At one point in time, you have to go, these aren't made for me anymore. I can't judge them on the same level. I just don't go see them.
No, that's where I'm not understanding. How is it not made for you when you're a comic book fan?
Because they haven't been making them for me for so long.
Who's this you? You're a white guy. I'm black. We're men in white.
They haven't been. Like, okay, I'll say, look, perfect example, right? If you have a character, right, that's, let's say, let's just say Batman, okay? Since we did Batman tonight. If they started making Batman, right, only as the IP of Batman and not telling the stories that Batman has done that the comic book characters or readers identify with, if they started putting, like, say, Batman in a story where he has to help the White House or he has to do that is not made just because it's a comic book movie doesn't mean that it's made for comic book fans.
Yeah.
They own that IP now. They own it. They can do whatever they want with it. Do I want them to make like Nightfall and No Man's Land and make cool movies? 100%. But when they totally bastardize the character, in my opinion, it's not made for me anymore. I wish it was, right? But do you think that the Marvels, right? 100%, it should. Like I said, it should follow the lore.
Yeah.
They have books out there with great stories that could easily be adapted to the big screen. But when you have a company that we talked about earlier, right? Bob Iger said, what? We need to stop doing messages and start telling stories, right? So he admitted that they were not paying attention to the story and they were putting their messages in. Are you a guy that goes to see movies that are message based in the way that they made their messages?
Yeah, but I would still argue the fact that it's still, because the thing is, if a movie's not made for you, then why would you watch it or consume it or anything?
I don't.
Yeah, that's the thing. Is if you use that line of logic that you're using, you can apply it to literally anything. Honestly,
that's how all of life works.
Yeah,
that's literally how
you could
all of life works.
Not even eating. Well, to be fair, you could justify also, not even having money or a house. You could just be
no. You can't, because you need money to
not necessarily. Homeless people, they don't need money apparently.
No, but yes, they need money the most. Just because they do it without money doesn't mean that they don't need it.
Money's not made for them.
It's 100% made for them.
I mean, money's made for everyone.
Okay, here you go. Here's one, right? So I was homeless, right? So I've said this a bazillion times. Whenever I go like to a sporting event or whatever, I bring a whole bunch of cash with me. And this is 100%. The guy that was the corrupted Perlers that was in the chat the other week, he could tell you. I'll sit there, I hand out money to homeless people like nothing. And this one lady was like, the most stereotypical thing in the world. They're going to use that for drugs. And I looked at her. I said, hey, bitch, you ever been addicted to drugs? Drugs are real important to a drug addict. So, yeah, he's going to use it for drugs. But guess what he's not going to do? He's not going to punch your dumb ass in the face and steal it.
Well, I mean,
he might later. He might later. But
I did give food
to
a homeless lady.
But I mean, like, yes, comic book movies should be made for people that enjoy those characters, but they're not always going to do that. And that's why, like I said, if they only made like one bad movie or like two in a row, yeah, they're still made. But whenever they've made bad movies for, in my opinion, just my opinion, for years, at what point do you say these are still for me?
Oh no, that still wouldn't mean it's not made for you. That just means you're making bad product.
No, dude, because they're changing the entire basis of what the character stands for.
They're going to change them back. We know they're going to change them back at this point. Now they've lost how much money at this point?
They will change them back, and then they will be made for me. See, you're taking it as I'm a comic book fan, so every comic book movie must be made for me. I'm saying no.
Oh no,
because my personal tastes in what I watch. That's what I'm saying. No, it's not made for me.
That would work for anyone. Like comic books, I don't buy every single character's book. Not every character's book, I would say, gravitates.
So let me guess. So you're telling me that the Marvels was made with your type of personality in mind.
Are you a superhero fan? It was made for fans, right?
That's no, it wasn't made for superhero fans. What are you talking about?
They're all superheroes, though.
Okay, and
do you think it's made? Okay, do you think it was made for like wine moms, single moms?
No, I think it was made for young teen girls.
Yeah,
it had musical numbers in it. It had little boy stuff in it. It was 100% made to attract young girl audience.
Yeah, that's the main intention. right?
No, that's what it was. That's why it was made.
No, I'm saying that's the main intention, but that's the reason why it failed.
Because it failed because it was a shit movie.
Oh, well, to be fair, there's not many females out there clamoring for superheroes. Let's see, it's mostly a dude thing.
Then
like when you say it's not
correct.
made for, like when you say it's not made, that's where that line of logic would apply to me. If it's not made for me as a male because they're trying to push female superheroes, I told you before, I don't really care too much about a lot of female superheroes. I wouldn't want to watch Indiana Jones because of that, you know?
But there's a lot of levels to it's not made for you. Like,
which level is yours?
Mine is if it goes against everything that I stand as a movie. Like it has to be entertaining, it has to be coherently written. Everything that happens in the movie has to derive that to different from the genres story.
Then? Like you would say horror? Is it made for you essentially?
Oh, I can't say horror because I just don't care about horror movies.
Yeah.
I can't.
You could use it like if you're not initially attracted to something, then the product itself would have to be good enough to attract you to be somewhat enticing to it, you know? Because
here's the thing.
Every superhero movie is going to attract the same person because that's
horror movies, though, it is a subgenre where it is made specifically in a certain way. Not every superhero movie is made in a certain way. Do you know what I'm saying? Like, okay, look at Black Panther. Look at how they marketed Black Panther.
Well, you could just say that. Well, is Black Panther just marketed towards black people then?
The marketing was, but Black Panther should not have been marketed that way.
But the thing is, that would be, I don't know.
It was still a very popular movie, and he's one of my favorite characters, so I went to see it.
Because you're black from the waist down?
No, but I like Black Panther.
Huh. Well, let's see what else is gonna. Oh my god!
I didn't. You with the comment L. Get out of here, dude. I think what it is people don't like a strong opinion that goes against what they fundamentally believe, and I like to challenge those opinions. Just because I say something isn't made with me in mind doesn't mean that it still can't be a good movie. And it doesn't mean that it doesn't derive from that problem that exists in movies. That just means that I don't care anymore because for fucking why do I want to keep punishing myself by going to see this shit that I know is going to suck?
Yeah. It's
things. This sucks. Here's another show where we talk about how this movie sucks.
It's kind of like being a wife in an abusive relationship, you know?
But I want to talk about stuff that I like.
If you're a wife in an abusive relationship and you get beaten constantly, at some point you want to believe it's going to be back in the honeymoon phase. I think that's the state that I'm at right now.
I'm sorry, but no people. I'll use like we always talk about the FNT people, just like how he made a video just recently how he was like Amazon renewed, Rings of Power again. He's like, and he goes, oh, thank God, more content for me. He knows it's gonna suck, dude. He's not thinking that, oh, they learned their lesson and they're gonna stay.
I will say this: if Amazon are going to keep making that show for people to make fun of them so they can make a lot of YouTube money, there's no reason why you wouldn't want it renewed.
But here's the thing: is that made for Tolkien fans?
Oh, it is Lord of the Rings, so I imagine it's catered towards people that are fans of the product, right?
I don't think so.
I
don't think it is.
No, but that's what I'm trying to ask.
They said they're making a world for Tolkien of today.
No, I heard that.
Yeah, and they think Tolkien's a fascist.
No, that's what
if you don't like the source material, right? Yeah. Then how could it be made for people that like the source material?
That's what I'm bringing up, where the whole it's not made for you. Because if they're not making it, I'm not saying I disagree. What I'm saying is like they're going with the idea it's not made.
Oh, Reacher is awesome. I agree.
Because if they're going with the idea that it's not made for someone or a certain section of the fan base, then what are you making it for to potentially has? Because there's a goal at the end of this stuff, right? Oh, you said that there's an agenda. I don't agree with that. There's obviously an agenda and to make money, but what is the intention overall? Because if you're not trying to grab the people that are initially the fans of it, then what the hell are you doing?
Do you want me to answer that? Really?
You said,
I'll tell you exactly. What they're doing. It told you just with the Lord of the Rings thing. They think that they know better than the source material writers, and they are not creative enough to make their own world. They have to take established characters that people know and love and tell their fucking stupid stories about it. That is exactly what they're doing.
Create a new franchise with that's the thing, is that's the idea of the chasing the whole unicorn that is the modern audience. There is no, I don't know why they keep doing that, as we keep saying.
Z is dude, but that's what they've been doing.
Has it been working?
They've been doing. No.
Yeah.
That's my whole point.
Yeah, no, so you're saying along the aspects of like these things aren't made for you.
I just don't think this is so hard to understand. What I think is you're defending a position because a lot of people say, well, if you say it's not made for you, then you're giving up and you're not holding their feet to the fire and you're not wanting them to make good movies. That's a bunch of bullshit. That's a bunch of dumb shit that people say, in my opinion. I don't think you're dumb, but that's a bunch of dumb shit that people say that don't actually think for themselves and go, you know what? We've been, how long have people been saying this sucks? How many YouTube channels sprout up saying this is bullshit? This is this. How many times have I been called a bigot because I say this sucks? How many times have I been called all these things, right?
Yeah.
Has it changed anything? No. What happened was a president got elected and now everybody is saying that stuff. If it was still a left president and all this shit was being purported, do you think they would have given a fuck about some YouTuber that sits there and says this is stupid? No.
Well, definitely I would say it's not happening for movies. I would say it's happening for, I would say gaming, it's definitely changed for it. Gaming for sure.
Dude, Sweet Baby Inc. is going under and getting in trouble is what's starting to change gaming.
Oh, yeah,
Sweet Baby Inc.
To be fair, that was because people did point out a lot of it.
No, that was also because the woman got in trouble for harassing people.
Yeah,
those emails that came out,
the whole Cabrutus thing, that was pretty big, right, for a little bit there. Yeah,
which it was. But whenever someone is telling you, do not take no for an answer and berate these people, regardless of what world we live in, even the other crazy leftist people have to go, well, you can't do that in business practice. You can't.
Well, that's what happens when the corporations chase the mythical.
Plus, you got to realize, you also got to remember something. Mm-hmm. I've been working in government for a very long time, so I know exactly how they think. I get their memos. I get what is updated and what we could say, what we can't say, and what we can do and what we can't do. And when you see those same exact things that I'm not supposed to do following suit in movies and entertainment, dude, it's the same shit, bro.
Like, why do you think they wanted to erase
for me?
No, I'm saying why do you think they wanted to erase the fan bases that they have for a new one that doesn't exist? We know there's not a new crop of people for all these different IPs to exist.
When you have hubris and arrogance that you think you know better, it doesn't matter. They could say all this, just like the Acolyte, right? Just like the Acolyte. Let's look at that. Like in an honest opinion.
Yeah.
Let's look at that, right? Look at the things that they threw in that show because they knew it was going to be dog shit, right? They put in Yoda. They put in freaking Darth Plagueis.
It was like Leslie Headland. Yeah. Well, to be fair, these people are also the arrogance, as you say. I don't even think it's just arrogance anymore. They genuinely believe they think it's good. It's at that point where
they genuinely believe it's good, but they genuinely believe that the source material is wrong.
Yeah.
That's the problem. They have to update it for the world of today. Just like the new toys for the new Captain America. Did you see that? A hero who looks like you.
I saw that. Yeah.
Yeah. So you're basically eliminating like 50% of kids who are going to look at that and be like, what is that? What? You know, when it should say a superhero who fights for you. And because everybody can relate to that. You know, my kid,
the thing.
My kid doesn't see he doesn't see like someone as like, say, a black person. He doesn't look at them as a different person. He just looks at them as a person. Like, and you know, like when we start putting those parameters on everything, it begets more problems because people start saying and going, I identify with this. Well, when I was growing up, I watched Friday. You know what I never said about that movie? Man, that is a good black movie. Or Don't Be a Menace to South Central. While drinking your juice in the hood. I never said those Wayans brothers are funny black movie makers. I never said that.
Well,
that never came into my head. I just went, those movies are freaking hilarious. And I never said they need more white people in them.
At some point, they will have to course correct. They can't keep
100%. They will have to because the money's not there.
Well,
right?
no, I'm saying at some point they will have to, in theory, make stuff for the fans that are already here. Because that's the thing is, there's no other. I just don't believe there's enough people for every single giant IP to make up for the amount of people that you've lost making enough horrible content in a row, as you said. There's just not. We know that there's not enough new people coming in.
There's not enough people coming in. There's not enough people supporting it. But you also got to remember this: the people that scream the loudest don't support the most. You have to remember that. They scream because they want to be heard because they have nothing else going on.
It's all like the social media likes and shit like that.
Anything.
I know
the loudest voices, and even in regular anything, just like Bill Burr said, he was like, with all the feminists in the world, with all these women, he's like, why aren't there fucking women at WNBA games painting their face and fucking, it's because nobody gives a shit, right? They might now because they have a star, because the product was bad, right? If the product
hasn't changed, even with Caitlin Clark, that hasn't changed. Only her games sell out. The other ones don't do as good still.
Yes, I understand. But even with her game selling out, like their ratings are literally overall ratings are catching up. No, just the overall ratings of the WNBA. The attendance is not matching, but the overall ratings of the WNBA are almost catching up to regular NBA overall.
Yeah, because that's what I've always said is, they want to get all these like social media retweets and likes, mostly through Twitter, because that's the biggest one we know. Right. And it's one of these things where all these people talk about this stuff on Twitter. They're not reading and watching all this stuff. Women, like you said, WNBA, women literally will clap. We don't have anything. Go support the thing that we give you. They don't.
Yeah, and it's like they also. I remember the big thing with the WNBA when they were like, we deserve the same amount as the men. Well, no, you don't. You don't have a track record of making money. Okay, well, we want the same profit sharing as the men. Okay, well, the percentage of 0 is still 0. Like, you don't have the support there, right? And I
you said these things to people, they would call you a sexist.
But here's the thing. Okay, tell me one time you've walked out in the wild and you saw a WNBA jersey.
I never have. Never seen
exactly. Exactly. And I'm not saying that to shit on women.
I'll
tell you a team that deserved the same money was the US women's soccer team, because they won and they drew an audience and people watched them. They totally deserved that. And I can get behind any product that's good, right? Like I watch the sports that I watch, like, don't get me wrong. Like, dude, I'm an NFL diary. Like, I could tell you things that happened in 1967.
Oh yeah,
That's just how I am. But I also, one of my favorite sports is MotoGP. I love motorcycle racing for some reason. I don't know why. I watch it every year, and I watch everything. And now that it's on HBO Max, dude, I watch it the whole weekend. I just, for some reason, I just like that appeal of a broader sport. I love soccer. I watch the Premier League every weekend. And there's just something about those sports where you see the product on the field is it's such a high level, because these guys are trying. Perfect example. Look at the NBA All-Star game compared to what hockey just did. Hockey just did that. Dude, that was amazing, dude. The Four Nations final for their All-Star break was amazing last night. The
NBA like All-Star game, I was watching the highlights.
Was just so terrible. They don't try, and they're sitting there going, how can we fix the All-Star game? Well, I'll tell you how you fix it. Make them play. You think Michael Jordan wanted anybody on the West to have anything over him? No, he was going to show you that he was the best basketball player.
We need that. We need a selfish star
you need competition. You just need them to play it's a real game.
It happens in esports sometimes too, where like a lot of these esport teams were building these like female rosters of gamers, and nobody would watch their games, and then all of these female rosters were getting cut. And people were like, how dare you not support women? Nobody was watching or caring about the games. Sorry. That's how business works. You can't justify spending that much money.
Right. And that's exactly how, if you have an event, just like how people say,
it
like,
wasn't made for me.
where TV ratings don't apply, right? No, it's not getting ratings. Well, if you had an event that people want to watch, people are going to watch it. They're gonna watch it. Just like boxing, right? I'm a huge boxing fan. Tomorrow is one of the biggest boxing events of the year, right? People are gonna wake up and watch the Riyadh series at 10:30 in the morning, and that thing's gonna get over 1.5 million buys. It's going to happen because it has people on there that people want to see.
Which is general interest, and people are interested in watching this. It's just the thing is, like you said earlier about women, even women don't watch their shit. It's like,
well, that's a problem though. But
gaslight you into thinking that you're the problem is why it's failing. It's like it's not.
It's the product. It's the product isn't good.
But the thing is, I don't think I'll be honest. I don't generally think it's a product. I think people just aren't that interested in watching.
No, I think no, because UFC. The women, when Wei Li Zhang fights, 1 million people are buying it because she is a fucking badass and puts on a hell of a show.
No, yeah, there's exceptions, but I just think that the average person doesn't care.
I can't say that there's an exception to the rule because there are other women's sports out in the world, not just the United States, that work.
Hey, so unless you want to let Serena Williams on your face.
If the product is good, people will watch.
Yes, but keep in mind, in sports, the people that are participating in it are the product, though. At the end of the day, they are the draw for it, right?
Yes, but here's the thing. There's difference, though. In the NBA, right, you get guaranteed money, okay? Well, here's the thing. Mm-hmm. In soccer, in most leagues, right, if your team finishes in the bottom 3, you get relegated to a league
I knew that.
Below you. Yeah. You don't get the Premier League money, right?
I hate boxing. Jesus Christ.
I can understand that, but if the fights, dude, it's one of those things that's been around for years. That top name fighters, when you have someone in the heavyweight class that is good, that people are going to watch. And I agree with you. Boxing needs to get a lot quicker with their walkouts, a lot quicker with things. But once that bell rings, and if you have good fighters, you have to watch the good fighters. And Top Rank Boxing on ESPN. Right now is having a renaissance with young guys, dude. Some of these guys are incredible. Like,
it's not even the fact
Stevenson is amazing. Brian Norman Jr. is he's got lead in his hands. Like, dude, there's guys that are good.
I even wholly disagree. I just think as a sentiment that I've thought for a long time ago to get to this mindset too. I just don't think there's enough women that care about women competing at the highest level. I think there's
I understand that, but men will watch it if it's good.
We will. Yeah, we will watch if it's good. Women don't care. I
understand that women don't care, but that doesn't mean it can't be successful because women aren't watching it.
Yes, but as you said earlier, wouldn't women be the target audience of a women's sport?
Yes, of course they would be, but they don't support each other. That's been known.
Yeah,
it doesn't happen.
So they have to rely on us. I think if you're gonna pair me up with watching the best female athlete versus the best male athlete, I'm always gonna choose the male.
It depends on what sport it is, bro. Like I don't want to watch men's gymnastics.
I do. I want to see the hot male dong hanging around.
Dude, I'm sorry, but when the Olympics, the Olympics come, Summer Olympics, I watch the women's gymnastics because they're the best at what they do.
When the males start putting the dong around, you get happy in the other dong.
I think it's a difference of opinion. I think that the difference is I accept other people's opinions. I can live with it because I'm comfortable knowing that it's not going to affect me. Like if someone thinks I'm an idiot, right? Because I say something like that, you know what I say? Okay. It's not going to affect me. I don't.
Oh, hell no.
My coolness or street rep and cred, that shit died long ago.
Touch Friday. You already have it.
What the fuck?
Like it just doesn't. Like that type of shit I don't have to be the coolest guy on the internet. You know what I mean?
Yeah,
like
that title goes to me. Yeah.
I'm just the dude that likes what he likes and is not afraid to say it.
No, I just think there's more. For me, I think there's more nuance to a lot of things. It's not just always just black and white. That's just me.
And I dude, look at the opinions that I gave. If you think that's black and white, then that's not black and white. There is a lot of nuance to what I said.
Yeah, that's why I've always been said for WNBA. I just don't justify its existence. But then again, they want to keep it going. I think my opinion is they keep it going as a vanity project because they could easily shut it down because it doesn't make enough money, as you say.
Well, of course they do. They can easily shut the WNBA down. It's been subsidized by the collective bargaining agreement from the men. portion of the men's check.
But they don't want to shut it down because of a virtue moment. They know that if they shut it down, they would have to admit that there is not enough female audience to sustain a league for viewership.
They wouldn't have to say female. They would just say there's not enough audience.
Oh, they can blame them. Oh, no, you're right. They won't blame them. They won't.
But that's the thing. There doesn't need to. Here's MSK. If a bunch of men were watching it like they were this past year,
yeah, I was.
It's still gonna go. It doesn't matter that it's women or not. Like that's the thing. It doesn't matter. You might think that, right? And that might be a narrative that comes out, but that's complete bullshit because if 2 million men are watching every game, they're not going to care that they're men. They're going to care that they're going to care. Dude, 1.47 million were watching WNBA games this year. The WNBA topped out at no, dude. The average, I'm telling you, the average for the WNBA went up to like it was almost like 800,000 to 1 million people watching every game. Her games, yes, were like 1.4 to 1.7. It topped out at like 2.12, which was big, but the average it went up like 800% just for all the games.
I can't break you into my black guy world. I'm gonna get you in my Friday.
Listen, I'm with a lot of people on a lot of opinions. I'm just not, just because like I dislike one thing doesn't mean that I'm going to be with everybody that hates everything. I just can't do that. I can't, there's things that I like.
Yeah.
Like, you know, and like I said, like it's hard for me. It's also hard for me to take someone's opinion, right? That they shit on one thing that sucks, but then they praise something else.
It's not just human nature
that equally sucks, right? But then they just play it off as like, oh, that's just my, you know, thing that I like that some people don't like. You know, it's like, dude, that shit sucks too. Why don't you go at
actually just having an opinion? You know that, right?
Why don't you just go at it with? Well, dude, if you say like this movie, right, is terrible, right? But then you like something that is just as equally shitty and you're not critiquing it with the same energy, aren't you just the same part of the problem?
Would you rather that person just admit they have a bias? Because everyone has biases no matter what it is.
It's not even that I care that they have a bias. It's just, it's funny that they go after something so hard, right?
That's a joke. It's an inside joke.
My work schedule has actually changed. I'm working for a new company.
Good Lord.
It's just that I just find it weird that like you'll give this a pass because it's something that you like, but you're gonna shit on this, which is equally just as shitty. Like it's just like, come on, I'll say it. Like Power Rangers, I love Power Rangers. You know why? Because it knows what it is. But you know what? I'm not gonna sit there and go at this other thing that someone else hates, right? I look at it at the same energy. Like I'll critique it the same way, but I can go, okay, I understand why you like that. I can understand why you like it. I get it. Do I like it? No, I think it's stupid, but I understand why you like it.
Oh, that was fun. Yeah, we should do that eventually. Yes, I've watched enough Power Rangers throughout my life to know. Even though some of the, I would always say, you know, voice your opinions, voice the man, destroy him. But no, all jokes aside, yeah, I mean, we're gonna be in a world where, fuck, I don't know, because it's the things that I've seen recently with like even all this stuff. There's never anything super sustainable to it. You know, I don't know how long, like, you know how like streaming had all those big boosts back when we were like on lockdown and everything. That was, and when all that left, they were like, what happened? It was like, well, this certain period was over where you're not as home as much.
Yes,
you know,
that's why I'm a physical media person. Like I want to own everything.
That's the same thing with not even just sports, because I'm pretty sure you saw yesterday ESPN kind of terminated their agreement with MLB at the end of the year. It'll be over, you know, because they're looking at what's going on. The viewers, like certain trends will happen in one way and will happen in one way 1 year, but then they get so comfortable that they think this is just all the time, and it's like I don't know.
Right, and I understand that, but I think when it comes to movies and TV shows, people have such strong opinions. You know, because that's the world that we associate most with, that we talk about the most. So it affects us the most. So like
Top Gun is overrated,
especially whenever you have like audience members. And I'm not saying to placate to them, still give your opinion, but like when you invalidate someone else's opinion, right? Just because it doesn't agree with your ideology, I just find that a little bit disingenuous. I could still say, dude, I think that sucks, but I'm not gonna shit on you because you like it. Who cares? Who cares?
Yeah, I mean, there are people out there that like things that I hate, and obviously vice versa. Or it's like earlier Arkham was talking about the comic book criticism thing. It's one of these things where I don't know if the average person notices. Sometimes that's their way of critiquing. Some people are just harsher than other people. That's just kind of going to be what it is. There's different ways that people interact with their ways that they speak to people. Not everyone has to kind of give their criticism in a way that's comfortable to you, because that itself wouldn't be authentic though.
Right. But don't you find it weird that like you could watch the same thing and be into the same stuff? Yeah. And when you're hearing this like such drastic teardown of something, it makes you go like, what didn't I see that they're seeing?
To be fair, that shouldn't change your mind either though.
No, it's not. It doesn't change my mind. I want to know like, how do I say this? I'm very intrigued with how people see things.
Yeah.
That was like one of my
I agree with that. Yeah.
Like, because I always liked hearing the other side of the opinion, the other side of the coin. I always liked hearing that. Doesn't mean I agree or disagree with them, but I liked hearing it. But whenever you find something like, say, we both like Batman, right? And you hear like something so dramatically different than what you think, you don't wonder like, what am I like?
I'll usually kind of always, we use the Batman no kill thing. I always kind of ask people, why would you want him killing though? I was because people say, well, the villains deserve a bunch of bullshit people say, but then you would ask like, well, if he's killing, doesn't that kind of take away the fundamentalness of why he wouldn't kill them? It's just,
for me, I don't want him killing because then it takes away the villains and then there's no more books. But if I'm looking at it objectively, yeah, he should kill the Joker.
Probably should be dead. Yeah,
because he keeps getting out and killing more people. So he's not helping the problem.
That's just like kind of how I look at it.
But you have to look at it in the reasoning of Batman. How is the Joker going to be rehabilitated after he's mass murdered?
That's the thing no one even understands. When you use Batman, for example, because people talk about Batman no killing forever. I mean, that's been long debated since eons.
Oh, for sure.
People don't understand with Gotham, there will always be another Joker. Anyone that says that's not going to happen is a moron. I'll be honest here, you do not know.
No, there has to be. I mean,
there will always be another.
Look what they did with like Victor Zsasz. You know what I mean? Yeah. They just made him the focal point murderer of Gotham. But there's always going to be that other step. But like, I trust me, I'm with you on the no kill thing.
Oh,
like,
I was using that as an example.
No. I know what I know. I'm just saying, like, I agree with you on that, and I understand the two argument side, and I think that shows more of what I'm trying to say. Like, I can see what they're saying. I'm not going to say you're retarded.
Oh, I will. That's just because I love shitting on people. Hey man, there was Call of Duty Modern Warfare lobbies for a reason. Come on.
Yeah, there was.
And you got to have some fun. If someone is that, I'll say, if someone takes, not you, but if someone takes things that offensive, I can't help with that. That's not, I'm just,
listen, I understand calling someone stupid or dumb. That's like, that happens
pancakes
every day,
or waffles.
Right? That happens every day, right? But whenever you're trying to make a point, right? And you're trying to have a serious discussion when you resort to those things, like to me, it just makes me go like, okay, this dude's a clown.
Oh no. Like obviously, if you're trying to have a serious discussion, don't do that because then that would show if you do that, you're like losing. But I have to ask you this:
it's not about winning or losing the conversation with me, though. It's about seeing other people's. Good night, everybody.
All right, so see you guys later. Have a great night, buddy.
Oh man, he just.